You know
What's going on, man?
I'm a little
Slang Starfire.
Nice to meet you.
And, I'm a simple guy, and I live my life by really simple means, you know what I mean? And, I live by simple mottos and credos and phrases and everything because it works for me, you know what I mean? Lately, I've adopted a new one. As me.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Frank Starfire, and this is the Just to Be Frank podcast. It's good to be with you again. This is season 2, episode 2. I don't know why I told you that. I just felt like telling you. What's going on, everybody? It's good to see you as ever. I appreciate you for joining me as ever. I've got a guest coming in. My boy Shot Boogie going to be in here. We're going to talk about all sorts of amazing things, man. I'm going to let him tell you his story. I'm not even going to try and do the disservice of trying to give you this man's bona fides. You know what I'm saying? I want him to be able to express it to you himself, so we're going to do that. In the meantime, I figure I'll catch up with you all and talk about some current events, especially some of the things that I've been avoiding. Number one, I have avoided the topic of the entire political bullshit that went on in this fucking country for the last 4 years, for the last century, for the last forever. This shit sucks. You know what I'm saying? I made a decision not to talk about the presidential election because honestly, I just don't want to step on nobody's toes, man. I have friends and family of both sides of the spectrum on that. Me, I'm firmly entrenched in the middle, and that's the power of objectivity that I bring. But I do have people on the right, I got people on the left. Love them all. You know what I'm saying? What I genuinely hope is that maybe they'll take some cues from me and come a little bit more to the center, and maybe we can try and build beyond what the fuck we've got going on. Barring that, I just didn't want to, I honestly didn't feel like depressing myself. This shit has been depressing. 2020 itself has been fucking depressing. No question. It's been annoying. It's been oppressive. It's been all sorts of fucking ifs. And quite frankly, I don't have the fucking stomach to want to deal with this shit. But here I am. And if I could be anything, I'm hoping it's a voice of reason for people who may not know exactly what the fuck to think in this regard. And if I'm being honest, and if we're being honest, nobody knows what the fuck to think. 2020 has shown us, number one, that nobody knows shit about shit. So we're just kind of the blind leading the blind in certain aspects. What I genuinely hope is that we move forward. Biden won the presidency. Let me say that again for the cheap seats. Biden won the presidency. Whether you believe it or not, whether you want to accept it or not, that is the fact. Whether or not there was voter fraud or there wasn't, and I'm inclined to believe there certainly could be, but on the scale of what is being alleged in several lost court cases, obviously they don't have any evidence to show that it was enough of a voter fraud epidemic going on that could overturn the entire presidency. The Electoral College did their vote the other day. I think the last ditch effort anybody might have would be to be with the Senate or Congress or whatever that may be. I don't know the ins and outs of how all this works. Quite frankly, I don't care. And I think that's something we all need to take great stock in. Frank Starfire does not give a shit. Because if we're being honest, and if we're being really smart about it, and we're thinking critically and logically, who the president is, unless you make a certain amount of money, and I know not many of my friends make that amount of money, who the president is doesn't really fucking affect you. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's a pointless expenditure of time to care. And it doesn't matter if it was Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Joe Jorgensen, none of it matters. Because the truth is, we all still broke. We all still the have-nots. So if you're one of the have-nots, don't worry about who the fuck the president is. Worry about who your local elected officials are. Worry about your representatives in the Congress and Senate and the city council and blah, 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 yakety schmackety. That's who you need to worry about in that regard, because those are the ones that affect what you as an everyday average tax-paying citizen do. That's enough about that, because I'm not going to fucking waste my time dealing with that shit. I've been listening as usual, and take a shot. Every time I say Joe Rogan's name, y'all know I take a shot. So I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast. And he had on Andrew Schultz, which is a funny motherfucker. He's got a comedy special out right now on Netflix. He's a funny ass motherfucker, man. And if you don't know it, then he really is. You know, give me a second here. I'm gonna speak to some of my fan base and shit. Hey, so I'm currently recording my episode, and I figured I'd come in and share some love with Safi and the crew. I'm on the Just to Be Frank podcast right now. We're talking about Jay Prince on the Jay Rogan podcast and Andrew Schultz on the Joe Rogan podcast. I was watching. It was very eye-opening, especially if you're a fan of stand-up comedy. Andrew Schultz is a hilarious motherfucker. If you're into hip-hop and you want to learn some of the history of hip-hop, especially from the South, you need to listen to Jay Prince on the Joe Rogan podcast, because it was fucking epic. Safi, what you doing?
I just sent a blast. That message you got through, that was me.
Oh, okay. I'm talking to one of my friends from the UK right now on the Meet Me app. They don't sponsor my podcast yet, but they are gonna.
No, we are.
Oh, no, you. Huh?
Sorry.
What'd you say?
I thought you were in a pop-up. I apologize.
No.
I'm here.
You're fine. Listen, I came in the box, so obviously it's okay. But I figured, let some of the people experience what I experience on a daily basis, and this is what I've experienced on a daily basis for the last week and a half. My homegirl Safi, future guest on the Just to Be Frank podcast. Get you the information on that. I'll be back. Do what you're doing, girl. So that's that. I mean, that's basically what I've been doing a lot over the last few days.
Well, Frank has been rapping, but he hasn't been showing anyone, so we need to make sure we expose this guy, okay? And I don't just mean like exposure, I mean exposure, okay? Like, I love it. It's like rap, and it has meaning like fucking spoken word, and it has like rhythm, like fucking, oh, you don't even understand. Like, it's like a good fucking back scratch. Like, you want to get that out everywhere, and you want to get it done every single motherfucking day. Like, even after you have a good back scratch, you want another good back scratch. It's weird. It's hard to explain it.
This is what the people think of me, so I definitely appreciate all that love. You
and
heard
in
that?
isolation, it's good too, but you can get a good back scratch. Fuck. You don't need to go to Marvel. I have to go to sleep for 30 minutes. Fuck, I'm so tired.
That's my homegirl Safi, y'all. She actually has an anti-racism organization over there in the UK, and we'll discuss that when she comes on the podcast. I mean, it's but like I was saying, yeah, man, if you dig stand-up comedy, check out the new Andrew Schultz special, and go ahead and listen to him on the Joe Rogan Experience. It was a phenomenal experience, I gotta say, because he's somebody that he makes a lot of sense even as a stand-up comic, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I love the Joe Rogan podcast, because it allows me to hear intellectual thoughts from people that I may not particularly know and or want to listen to. So it's a wonderful experience to go through. I'm gonna pour me some more whiskey. Y'all know I'm on the fucking Evan Williams. You know how that go. It's been a long day. I deserve it. Evan Williams, sponsor my podcast, y'all. Evan Williams, come on, man. Send that check. A whore? Well, I'm also a little drunk. I've been doing this all day. But no, but those are a couple things I wanted to talk about. I'm waiting for my boy to come on in. If not, y'all just gonna be stuck with me for the night, and that's fine, man. Because I just need content and I need episodes to film, and this is it. If I'm just gonna sit here and talk shit, I have no problem with that. I will sit here and talk shit. So I prefer to have a conversation, and I guess that's something I need to address here too. The truth is, I could sit here and speak on a soapbox and speak into the void, and you all will listen, or you won't, you know. But the truth is, just speaking to myself, nobody's there to check what I'm saying in real time to see, hey, yo, that doesn't make any sense, bro. Or it's not right, or whatever the case may be. Like, so if nobody's calling you on your bullshit, if nobody's going to check you on your bullshit, you're not doing anybody a service. All you're doing is speaking into the void. That's not helpful to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I prefer to have a conversationalist here with me, somebody to bounce these ideas and ideologies off of, so that I'm not just speaking to you through the void. And you're not just taking what I'm saying as definitive fact. You shouldn't be doing that anyway. You should definitely be doing some research into any fucking thing I share with you, because I don't know everything. I might get some shit wrong. To be fair, that's not really an often happening thing, but it does happen. So do me a favor and just check your sources. Doesn't matter who it is, where it's from, whatever the case may be, check your sources. Make sure that you're getting the right information when you need it, as you need it. You know what I'm saying? But beyond that, we're going to move on from that. What else have we got here? What else have been? Apparently Boko Haram is still around. Apparently they're still kidnapping kids in Africa. They gave them back because, you know, they must have realized how fucking annoying kids are. I was like, all right, you know what? We done with this shit. Send their asses back. So they did. But luckily everybody got home safe. You know what I'm saying? All kids got back with their families, and that's a good thing. What else? What else have we got? I mean, obviously, truth is, the biggest news in our country right now is fucking pandemic, man. If y'all remember back on the first episode, and you go check it back out on YouTube, it's still there, with when I was interviewing the ladies from the Crystal Garden. Shout out to Diana Beth. They continuously called it a plandemic. And that has some interesting connotations as far as what is actually going on. Was it planned? The conspiracy theorists would say, certainly. I like conspiracy theories, but I'm not beholden to conspiracy theories in that I don't believe them. I want facts. I want scientific facts. I want evidence. I want all that shit, because that's who I am. I want facts, because I see no reason to have conjecture that I can build on and make my argument or my valid case off of something that's flawed information. That makes no sense. I don't want that. I want just the facts, man. Word up. That's all the fuck I want, man. No, he still hasn't come in yet, so I guess y'all gonna be stuck with me for the night. What else have we got here? I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, there's a lot going on in the world. You know what? Let's go through the news. And let's go through the news and see what's going on in the world today, shall we? We're going to use good old Google News because, you know, I think YouTube owns, or Google owns YouTube, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how this fucking shit works. Let's see what we got here. What's going on in the world today? This will be the episode. I might just read off the news and tell you my opinion on shit that makes no fucking sense. You can believe me. I'm okay with that. So what have we got here? Okay, headlines. Trump contradicts Pompeo, plays down alleged Russian role in cyber attack. Oh, right. Yes, apparently there was a cyber attack by Russia and maybe China. Maybe. I'm not saying it's definite, but I'm allegedly Russia and China, maybe a few other enemy states, if you want to call them that, tried to hack, I think, the election. You know, we should be used to this by now. What else we got? Because I don't care about that. Congress stuck again in question. Okay, so Congress right now is trying to put together another stimulus package for the people for this coronavirus shit. Don't hold your breath. These motherfuckers can barely keep a budget to keep functioning. I don't think they're even really that concerned with us. Now that the election's over, nobody give a fuck about the everyday average Joe. Except for you and me, people. We care about us because we ain't got no fucking choice. Let's see. Heated Oval Office meeting included talk of special counsel martial law as Trump advisors clash. Yeah, I don't care about that either. What else we got? UK imposes harsher lockdown on London, citing new version of virus. Well, that's interesting because, you know, my girl Safi, she's in the UK. She's just outside of London. So I wonder how that's going to affect her daily life. So I guess when I get back on with her later on, I'll ask. Actually, no, it's like midnight over there. She should be asleep. Let's see what else going on. Trump encourages wild protests in D.C. on date of electoral college vote count. It's because Donald Trump's a sore loser and a dumbass. Let's see. Judge gives Milwaukee's ousted police chief job back. Okay, so Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The judge gave the police chief their job back. I'm not sure exactly what happened in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I honestly, there's been so much this year. How do you keep up? I don't know. Let's move on, shall we? Oh, okay. So here's the thing. Here's something that a lot of y'all may not know about me. Most of my viewers do. Some of you may not know this. I am a huge wrestling fan. I love pro wrestling. I love boxing. I love MMA, but I love pro wrestling. Ever since Macho Man Randy Savage was in there talking his slick shit. You know what I mean? Dig it! Like, Macho Man Randy Savage was my favorite. No question. You know what I mean? Then came Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker and The Rock and Stone Cold. Like, you know, I've seen wrestling at its peak and highest and greats. And right now, it's actually really dope. If you haven't been watching it, or if you don't watch it, or if you're just not interested, I'll say this. They ain't no more bra and panties matches, man. The women's division in the World Wrestling Entertainment is second to none. They've got some really, really, really talented young ladies over there. There's a lot of good, talented wrestlers in wrestling right now. Is it anything like what we grew up on? No. Nothing's ever going to be that again. You're going to have to let that go. But that, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but I definitely am a big wrestling fan, and I believe the TLC pay-per-view is tomorrow night, where Roman Reigns is going to be fighting Kevin Owens for the championship, or reverse that, Kevin Owens is going to be fighting Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, for the championship. Y'all probably don't give a fuck about this, but I do, so I'm sharing it. But I'm excited to see that match because the character of Roman Reigns has been, up till now, over the last few months, cool, but not dominant. Right now, this motherfucker's dominant. And you know, I'm not going to sit here and try to explain heel and face and all that to anybody who's not a layman. But for those of you who know what wrestling is and know how it works, one of the best heel jobs you've seen in a long time is being done by Roman Reigns right now. But we'll move on from that. Also, obviously, as you can see, I am a huge comic book fan here. I'll pan up. Let me pan up with this one here. Give me a second. Let me see that. Huge comic book, video games, all that shit, man. Where it out? And yeah, those are books and shit too. All that jazz. So I'm a huge comic book fan. So there's been a big thing going on in the DC universe right now, and with the movies as well and everything. So there's a lot going on, man. But again, none of you really care about any of this shit. What do you care about? I don't know. But feel free to leave a message in the comments, like, subscribe, and share this motherfucker. And, leave comments. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. That was going to burn my fingers if I tried it. You see me about to do some dumb shit. Fuck with y'all, man. But, I don't know, man. Boy Shy Boogie, I sent the link. He ain't come up in here. So if he doesn't, you get a few more segments like this. Honestly, I didn't script anything out. I had a episode planned for the week, and that fell through. My guest fell through. So scrambling to find new guests. That didn't really happen. So we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, damn it, I got to stop flapping my gums. Let me light my cigar real quick. There we go. I got a joint too. Smoke this for now. That's for later. So I don't know, man, but this is the Just to Be Frank podcast. I appreciate you for joining me. Like I said, I had a guest lined up that fell through. And, just looking for guests now, man. So if you want to be a guest on the Just to Be Frank podcast, feel free to hit me up on any of my social media. It's at FrankStarfire6. It's not hard to find. And, let me know what's up. Let me know what y'all want to do. Let me know what you want to hear. Let me know what guests you'd like me to see, you'd like to see. Let me know anything, you know what I'm saying? What you like, what you don't like. Just leave it in the comments on the page, and of course, like I said, if you want to be a guest, you got something to promote, you want to do something on the Just to Be Frank podcast, hit me up anytime. I'm always available. Let's do it. Because truth is, the only thing I'll say no to is anything that's stupid. So, that is a broad spectrum of shit that I find dumb. So, but it's not many and varied, honestly. It's just a broad spectrum. So it's not hard to figure out. But either way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pause for calls real quick. Enjoy this commercial that I'm going to put up, and I'll be right back. It's really just going to be me talking more shit, but we're calling that a commercial. It's an advertisement. We'll be right back after a brief commercial break. All right, that did not work out how I thought it would. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring in my homeboy, Doe Boy Sumz. You heard, you got it. You can download his latest joint, For the Flex, and Nike Box on Spotify, iTunes, and all that jazz. He's the co-host of the Slang Editorial Podcast with my homie, Coach Cap. So we're going to bring my homie in real quick. And yep, Sumz, what up, man? Well, I see Everybody's having connectivity issues today. Apparently so am I. I'm matrixing again. Good, man. What are we doing here? You on, bro? You on, bro? Okay. We're just having all sorts of connectivity issues here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's the fun of filming. You never exactly know what's going to happen. So, I'm okay with it. I mean, hey, look, either way, I'm here with you. And that is the important thing. I'm also making sure I'm not, like, doing the lag thing. So I'm kind of doing the lag thing. Ladies and gentlemen, I am 2 cups into my Evan Williams, man. So, you know how that go. All right. So, take a pause for the cause and see if we can work out these connectivity issues here. I'll be back. All right. Doe Boy Sumz, ladies and gentlemen. We got connectivity.
Hold on, we're not live yet, are we?
We're recording.
Oh, we recording? Okay.
We're recording. You know what I'm saying?
Let me make sure the kids is out of the room.
All right.
Ania, you got to go. Go out the room. You know what I'm saying? Because I know we're gonna talk some grown man stuff.
Oh, definitely. I got my drink. You know what I mean? Salute, Slancha.
I got coffee. I got some coffee.
Wow, that's normally what I'd be drinking.
With the pumpkin spice.
Oh, wait, hold on. When did you turn into a white girl?
Yo, you know what? My wife gave me the other day. She gave me some shit with She ordered me something from Dunkin' Donuts with like some Thai latte. It was definitely some white girl shit. From the bottom part of Manhattan. Or whatever.
Them girls in the bottom of Manhattan drink all sorts of shit. Trust me.
Yeah. So I had that. I ain't gonna lie, it was not too bad. So you know, what's going on, man? I just came off the cusp of recording the Slang Editorial show.
Yes, sir.
With the homie Cat.
Yes, sir.
Yo, let me tell you something. I'm very happy to be here with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to keep it frank. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to keep it friendly. Let's go.
Let's do it. I appreciate.
I've been wanting to do this for a minute.
Yo, we're gonna do it more often. Trust me, man. Yo, the Slang Editorial is fucking dope. Don't you lie to me, man. I can't lie to you. Listen, I put the link in my description. The link to the Slang Editorial joint Cappyland Records is in my description every episode. Every episode. Word up. You know what I'm saying? Because we family. We got a link. You know what I'm saying? I tell everybody, yo, follow the network. And I put y'all Instagram, my Instagram, fucking Jermaine Instagram. Like, I put everybody's up there.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that, man.
Yo, listen, man. We've known each other in some form of fashion since junior high or high school. So it only makes sense to me, man.
Absolutely.
Word up,
and
man.
I told you before, we got some plans.
Yo, listen.
We can't talk about it, but we got some plans, man.
I'm on board, baby. You know that. You know I'm on board. But
let's go. What we doing today, man? Like, I'm hyped about this. What we doing right now?
All right. So first of all, I want to talk to you about the Slang Editorial. The last episode with Eb, that was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
I think it was one of our best shows.
You know what? Because the trifecta, and you know me, I'm a fan of threes. I'm always a fan of threes.
Okay. And you know what? Let me tell you, I do that. That's crazy that you say that. So Zone 3, DOE, because you know Doe Jones, we got Doe Jones clothing line, DOE. You know what I'm saying? Doe Boy Sumz, everything is in threes with me.
Right.
So I'm big on threes. So it's crazy that you say that.
The dynamic works. Listen, man, I'm still tri-face. We always got the threes, man. Listen, my birthday is the 6th. It's a multiple of 3.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I fucks with it.
Mm-hmm.
It took me forever to know what the fucking multiple is, but that's besides the point. So, put out Nike box over the summer.
Okay.
All right.
How'd you feel about it?
That's a banger because now I can't lie. I've never been a hustling ass nigga, but I know some hustling ass niggas. Pardon my language. I don't normally use the N-word, but that's appropriate for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I ain't never hustled. I did it once. Didn't work out for me too well. But I know a lot of motherfuckers with that fuck.
Now you gotta tell me what happened. What you
Well,
mean?
I wound up smoking all the weed.
You fucked up a pack?
I found out smoking all the weed. I smoked it.
Somebody gave you a pack and you smoked it all up?
I smoked it all. And my boy, like the people I was smoking with supposed to say, give me the bread for it. And I never got the bread. So, you know, it was some dumb shit. Some dumb shit. Sosa wanted to kill me.
Yeah, I was about to ask you. You ain't had no drama over there?
Oh, I definitely had drama, man. My boy Joey bailed me out of that one. Shout out to Rock. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Joey.
You know what I'm saying? Word up. I could have got stomped out that one. And fairly, I'd have deserved it. But
shit could definitely go left.
Shit could have gone left. You know what I mean? But it didn't. It went right. I'm still here. We still talking about it. I laugh about it now, but it definitely wasn't funny in the moment.
Okay.
But we all know somebody with that Nike box. Jay-Z rapped about that Nike box. Cam rapped about that Nike box.
Right.
That's synonymous with getting that bread in the hood.
Right.
Why was it important for you to put out that record?
It was important for me because that was my first stash box. You know what I'm saying? That was literally my first stash box. Like, I didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know, like, if I knew any better now. I mean, there was times where it's crazy that it's weird that you about to have me talk crazy or whatever. I'm not even about to talk crazy, but I'm just going to talk real shit. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I could have put things in the wall. You know what I'm saying? But coming from where we come from, that mentality, you know, putting that stash box being a Nike box was kind of was about what you wanted. You wanted Jordans. You wanted better Nikes. So you put it in a Nike box, kind of. I think subconsciously. I don't even think we even knew like what we was doing. Subconsciously, we put the stash in a Nike box because we wanted to have better Nikes and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
You know, that's where we put the stash in because we wanted to see that grow with inside of that. But that shows how low our mentality was at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because we was thinking better kicks. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, is it low level of thinking or is it thinking on what you see? You know what I'm saying?
It's
like
both. It's both.
Both. But you can only aspire to what you see. And where we come from, a better pair of Nikes was the motherfucking move.
No, not even nigga, a better pair of Nikes was your rims. You know
Yep.
when they say, look at the wheels?
Yep.
Nigga, your Nikes was the wheels. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was I think kind of growing up in the streets. I know for me, you know, it was put it in the box. When I was growing up, nobody told me about better stash spots. And even when I thought I had better stash spots, them shits kind of got a little rated too.
They were shaky.
So,
everything is shaky in that life, yo. And that's something I noticed about that life. It's shaky. You know what I'm saying? You're good one day, you're ass out the next.
mm-hmm.
You transition to music. How was the pivot? Was it difficult?
Nah, because I was doing music my whole life.
Okay.
before I was in the streets, I was doing music.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up, listening to the Jackson 5s, Soul For Real.
Speak on it.
I thought I was the little nigga from Soul For Real.
That dude went to 59, so it's not impossible.
He went to 59?
One of them little dudes, I forget the boy's name, but he went to 59.
From Rhode Island or some shit.
One of them little dudes went to 59 with a couple of my brothers, man. Like, they was like, yo, this little dude, he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, in 5th grade, in PS 136, I started a group, and actually my 5th grade teacher actually started to try to manage us. And we were singing. It was a singing group that I started, and I was singing.
Well,
I was fucking singing, bro.
What year? This was, so I'd say this is what, 93?
Yeah, like 93, 94.
Okay, so that's
like that. Mm-hmm.
So that's the New Jack Swing era in full effect.
Mm-hmm.
I know you from Hollis, Queens, like I'm from Hollis, Queens.
Murdoch.
197. Hollis Ave.
I mean,
I know.
4 blocks away.
I know.
Don't say Hollis, but let's keep it 100.
I know.
Because anybody that's watching, nigga.
The Murdochs is the Murdochs. Yeah. Murdoch is Murdoch. Hollis is Hollis. And Farmers is Farmers. You know what I'm saying? That was the trifecta.
But let's be. I'm a Farmers and Murdoch dude.
Okay.
I'm a Farmers and Murdoch dude.
So you go to the Rock. Back. We all know the Rock. If you, look, if y'all don't know the Rock we talk about, it's the Africa Rock right there on Farmers. I forget the cross street. It's about PS 118. I know that.
Yeah, that's 111.
111. 111th Ave.
That's Farmers in 111.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got the red, black, and green Rock.
Yep.
LL Cool J did a video over there.
Yep.
Anybody from that area or anybody from Queens knows that
Rock.
Yep. You know what I'm saying?
And
it's a staple in our community.
It's a staple in our community. It was something that we saw that was truly us. And it's funny, like, I always think of when people be talking about hip hop, I'm quick to interject. Yo, I'm from hip hop. I'm from Hollis, Queens.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Hip hop, it may have been born in the Bronx, but it was fucking popularized and monetized in Queens.
Oh, let me tell you something. I was thinking about this the other day. I said, yo, hip hop was definitely birthed in the Bronx, but it was raised by fucking Queens.
It was raised by Queens.
Can we give an applause for that? Like,
we got to.
Nigga,
we got to.
Hip hop was born in the Bronx. That's no doubt.
No question.
But it was raised by Queens.
That's right.
Hip hop was raised by Queens. Can't nobody take that away from him.
And as much vilification as he has right now, hip hop is nothing without Russell Simmons. Now, I lived on 197. Darren McDaniels lived on 197, but he lived on the other side of Hollis Ave. But I still I know I got a picture somewhere with me and him somewhere. So, you know what I mean? But hip hop is where we're from. Fuck it. I went to fucking junior high school with Lloyd Banks, G Unit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I think of that constantly. I don't do much music anymore. But you had the Nike box over the summer. You had for the flex, which
thank you for shouting out. I appreciate you.
Again, listen, that in itself was that's a dope ass record. You know what I'm saying? Because it's current. Because it's all about what they're doing on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for the flex. For
the flex that on Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely for the times. It was definitely about what's going on with social media and how females be flexing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And how dudes be getting caught up for the flex.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm so happy that you kind of pointed that out, because sometimes I wonder if people are actually listening nowadays, if they're actually listening to the bars, because if you listen to the bars, it's really about today and what's going on. Like, You know what I'm saying? I said something about, you know what I'm saying, you need to check out Wikipedia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
girls, Wikipedia, like, do you know, like, what she about? Like, yo, she might be flexing you, boy.
And but it's a subtle reference, but it makes all the sense in the world, because nowadays, and not every average person has a Wikipedia, but
right,
the idea in the mind, like, yo, that's a tangible thing. I know I could, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, basically, it's like, and I'm about to go deep in bars here. It's basically saying, do your homework.
correct.
Check her social media,
Correct.
see what she's about.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Now, no doubt she might not actually have a Wikipedia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But do your fucking homework. Check her, like, know what you getting into out here in these days and times, because motherfuckers getting flexed on
all day.
And it's not just regular dudes.
Nope.
It's celebrities getting flexed on too.
All the time.
Look what's happening.
But
look
see,
what's happening.
But now here's the question. Aren't celebrities just regular people too?
Yeah. Celebrities are definitely regular people, but they gotta move differently. They can't move like regular people. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, for instance, if somebody slides in my DM, I might be okay. Somebody slides in a little baby's DM, it's a different story.
Well, okay.
You know what I'm saying? That shit hitting TMZ, that shit hitting mad different things. I'm holding the video over, you know what I'm saying, for hostage. Like,
right.
It's a whole big different thing.
But that's only true for now, because the aspiration is to be, not, I don't want to say celebrity, but the aspiration is to be known, and with that known comes that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody going to screenshot.
You say the aspiration is to be known for who? Who you talking about?
Well, I mean, for any of us who do art, I do a podcast. Obviously, I ain't scared to put my face out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You do music, you do a podcast. Obviously, you're not scared to put your face out there. Mm-hmm. But in this new climate of #MeToo, when we came up, look, if we're being honest, who the fuck isn't guilty of a fucking Me Too at some point?
Let me tell you something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck is not guilty? You know what I'm saying? Because we can vilify Bill Cosby all we want, but anybody that took a bottle of Henny and 2 blunts over to some shorty crib is pretty much guilty of the same shit.
Let that be said from your mouth.
I'm just saying. It
has nothing to do with Sumz.
The views and opinions expressed here are especially those of frankly speaking, #frankly speaking.
Yeah, throw that hashtag
in it. Frankly speaking, how is it not the same thing? That was their drug of choice at the time. Our drug of choice at this time is liquor and weed, or Molly, or X. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not putting marijuana in the same vein as ecstasy and Molly and all that shit, because I smoke every day. I mean, but I also know that I've definitely taken some miscellaneous items over to a young lady's cribs in the hope that we'll both be intoxicated and we'll have passionate love. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Is that not, I guess I want to say that's the same thing, but it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you're bringing some type of intoxicant, yeah, intoxicant around a female, and you know, and she's down for it, that's a whole different thing than from what we've seen from, you know, the Cosby type of shit. Like,
Right.
You know that's a whole different thing, because from what we know from that situation, that's a you know, oh, hey, doorbell's ringing.
Right. 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 Right.
It's a whole different thing than being
And
like,
that's the
look,
difference.
Yo, you ready to party?
Right.
That, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you like, yo, look, you want to party and it's reciprocated, that's a great night. You know what I'm saying? But if you like, hey, what just fell? You know what I'm saying? That's
right. Exactly. And so the question then becomes, what's right in this new environment? You know what I'm saying?
What's right is just agreement on both sides, man. And that's it. At the end of the day, it's just agreement on both sides.
No means no.
There you go.
You know what I mean? No means no. For all you listeners out there, no means no.
And how about this? Questionable. If it's questionable,
no. It's no.
That's a no.
That's a no. If you're like, yo, what's up, and she's not responsive, that's a no.
That's a fucking no.
That's a no. Don't do that.
Yo, let me tell you. Let it go.
Now,
let it go.
With that said, I know that when I was 15 years old, I want to say 15, 16, somewhere thereabouts,
mm-hmm.
We got hella hammered one night, and a young lady and I had intercourse. Now the truth is,
did she press you?
No, she didn't press me. I didn't press her.
Have you ever been pressed by a female?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll go into that in a second. Hold on, I'll go into that in a second.
I'll let you go.
I'll go into that in a second. But
I gotta remember this ain't the Slang Editorial show.
But I will say, no, it's all right, brother. We good. But I will say that neither of the one of us was in the right mind to make a proper decision about having sex.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That was it, and it's one of those things that I always look back on like, yo, you know what? That was wrong. You know what I'm saying? We were like, both of us was fucked up and inebriated, but either way, I recognize that no matter what, to me, I was wrong.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because I should have fought that damn those hormones and that urge, and but 15 years old, you know, there's unfortunately most 15-year-olds are fucking stupid. I know I was.
15?
Oh yeah, we was definitely 15, and we were definitely stupid, and we shouldn't have been doing anything of that nature. And
15, you should have been taking that down.
I mean, listen, the truth is, the age of consent in the state of New York is 17. So
hold on, how
this was the 90s, and it's always been 17. But let's be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Age of consent is definitely a thing that it should be a thing. But how many 14 or 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds aren't out there having sex? You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna lie, that's probably one of the many reasons I don't have kids, because I'm kind of scared to.
Mm-hmm.
But you have kids, so
yes, absolutely.
How old are your kids?
My daughter's 12.
Your daughter is 12. Okay, so she's coming up on that time. How do you have that conversation with her?
You know what's so crazy? I'm not gonna lie. I don't have one indirect conversation with her. I've not had one indirect, because when I tried to, I come to find out that her school had already gave her a class.
Oh, okay.
And I was pissed off about that shit, because I was like, oh, and I called the school. I said, yo, how the fuck did y'all not tell me that y'all giving my daughter a class
right
on sexual education
right
without telling parents first?
Right.
Because when I felt as though it was time for me to talk to her, she was like, yo, well, you know, we had a class about this. I'm like, what? I called the school. I'm like, yo, blah, blah, blah. Yo, how the fuck did y'all did not send out a fucking memo or something
Right.
or tell me, you know what I'm saying, that y'all was gonna have this? Y'all, there's no way in the world that y'all should have that type of class.
Well,
without really informing.
I don't remember taking anything home before I took that class.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying? But this, you know, but we didn't have Google.
We didn't have Google, but at the same time, I'm not my mother. I'm not my father. I'm a different, you know what I'm saying? I'm a different parent. So I don't give a fuck about what I went through because we went through some wrong shit. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it honest. We went through some wrong shit. We went to
traditions.
I went to IS 192. I went to one of the worst junior high schools in the fucking state.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? So everything wasn't necessarily right. You know what I'm saying? As a parent now, and knowing what I'm going through, as a parent, you should have called. You should have sent a letter saying, "Hey, look, we're about to, put your daughter in or your son in this type of class and teach them about this."
Well,
so going forward, have a conversation with them. You know what I mean?
I mean that, but see, I'm kind of split on that because I remember like when we took that shit, we was in '72, and Kat might remember this too. Mm-hmm. When we did sex ed with Mr. Rothheim, when they talked about, that was my dude. When they talked about, the girls portion, all the boys had to leave the class. And then when they talked about the boys portion, all the girls had to leave the class.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I agree. That wasn't intelligent at all. Mm-hmm. Sex education, I think, is a good class.
Yes, absolutely.
But when it comes
who's teaching it and how they're teaching it.
Well, not only that, but I think what they're teaching.
Correct.
Because, and maybe it's weird to me, and maybe I'm sexist, but I'm more comfortable with a woman teaching it
than a dude.
Yeah, I'm more. Well, because I find women to be more nurturing. And
that's a natural fact.
Exactly. And they're better able to answer those tricky questions in a way that'll be a little bit more tactful than what a dude might. You know what I'm saying? And I think, and again, maybe it's my reverence for women. You know what I'm saying? That might be coming into play in that regard too. But I'm more comfortable with a woman teaching it. I'm not comfortable with them teaching abstinence or anything like that, but I am comfortable with them teaching reality, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, these are the diseases you can get. This is what can happen. These are condoms. You know what I'm saying? And before you say any of this, make sure you all go home and have this conversation with your parents.
Actually, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
So, because we keeping it a buck here, right?
All day, every day.
All right. Did you have your pops around?
Yes.
Did your pops give you the conversation about the birds and the bees?
No.
All right. So who gave you the conversation first about the birds and the bees?
Honestly, if I remember correctly, it was my older brother.
And he probably didn't give it to you the right way.
No, not at all.
Yeah, shit.
Not at all. Yeah. I learned, but then
you stick it in them, and then they get pregnant and babies.
Something like that. Yeah, no. I don't even think he talked about pregnancy. All he was talking about was actually just fucking.
But that's why you might feel a certain way when you say you feel more comfortable with the female telling you about sex because.
Oh yeah.
Because, I mean, hold on. Let me just finish. Let me say this real quick. Because a lot of times in where we grew up, we don't have our fathers around to actually school us on that shit.
True.
We end up learning this shit from, like you said, either our older brothers. We learn it from our niggas in the hood. We learn it from niggas talking shit in the streets.
Yep.
And then we think we know
porn.
something, and we really didn't, and we really haven't learned anything.
Nothing.
You know what
Nothing.
I'm saying? So, but if we had the fathers who really sat us down and taught us about sexuality and what we're supposed to do, how we're supposed to handle ourselves as men, I don't think that you would have that same feeling.
I mean, ideally, I would think it would be best if both a man and a woman taught a class like that.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Ideally. But
I think that, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think that a lot of times we need that father-son conversation.
Sure.
Relationship.
But then you definitely need that mother-son conversation.
Absolutely.
Because
it needs to be a balance.
Yeah, because I think your dad is going to teach you the mechanics, and your mom is going to teach you the emotions.
Detail.
Right. She's going to teach you how to detail. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Right. To keep it in the car. You know what I mean? Right.
How to detail the car.
Right.
So you got to get inside. You got to wax this. You wax on. Wax
you know what I'm
off.
saying? Right. Your mom is going to teach you that. You know what I'm saying? Your mom is going to teach you how to care for that girl. Your mom is also going to teach you how to move on from that girl. Or that guy, if you're, you know what I'm saying, if you're a daughter or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I do think there is a large credence to the mama's boy, daddy's little girl theory. Daughters gravitate to their dad, whereas sons gravitate towards their mom. Mm-hmm. And I think that's an interesting dynamic in that totality. But then,
why do you think that happens?
Honestly, I don't know. I know for a fact I was a mama's boy.
You don't think that it just comes from natural law of opposites attract, even with inside the family dynamic?
I mean, that's a very interesting concept, and I could see how that could play into it, certainly. Because I knew, like, my pops was around, but my pops didn't always live with us. You know what I'm saying? Like, towards the later end, when, right before he passed and everything, he was staying on Sutphin. So if I wanted to go see my pops, I'd leave school on Wednesday. I'd leave PS 118 on Wednesday, and I would walk all the way fucking from 118 to Sutphin Boulevard to my pops' crib. Whether he was there or not, I knew how to jimmy the lock. I knew how to fucking get in and chill. You know what I'm saying? I'd read a book. I'd fucking, do what I got to do. My pops was an alcoholic. He'd be at Red's Cafe. If you're from Queens, you know Red's Cafe. It's not there anymore, but you know Red's Cafe. But that's what I did to interact with my pops. And then when he was around, we would talk about things. And my pops taught the most my pops taught me about was improvisation. And that's the greatest survival tool I've utilized is we ain't got no electricity or fucking gas. How do we eat? All right, let me show you how we eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. Like, I learned that type of shit from my pops.
Okay.
From my moms, I learned how to love a woman, care for a woman. From my sister, from my nieces. You know what I'm saying? Like, I learned how to care for a woman from them. And then my homegirl Diamond, you know what I'm saying? And all the other mothers I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the moms that have adopted me and I've adopted as moms, like, they all have given me countless lessons.
Okay.
So I think that dynamic comes into play for a lot of guys. We always gravitate towards women. You know what I'm saying? And I think that as women go, so go men. You know what I'm saying? In essence, as women go, so goes man.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Because when we have women leading and we have women in power, shit goes right. Historically, like, women tend to have a better nurturing effect on an entire populace because it's their nature. How do we, especially coming from the realm of hip hop, where it's largely misogynistic,
absolutely,
how do we pivot from that into still revering our women without losing that edge of what makes hip hop great? Yeah, I asked those type of questions.
Nigga, that shit was deep. You gotta repeat that shit. Say that one more time.
All right, so basically, how do we empower our women, even though we come from a place of hip hop which is largely misogynistic?
We gotta recognize the women's place in our existence.
Okay.
So for one, with me, when I pray, I say, thank you, Father God, thank you, Mother God.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's dual.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we have to recognize, and I'm not gonna be apologetic about this at all. We need to recognize the Black woman as God within our circumference. You know what I'm saying? We have to recognize the Black woman as God. We wouldn't be here without coming from that womb.
Right.
So I think that's one. We have to recognize that. We have to recognize the woman as earth.
Right.
I think once we start recognizing that we do not come from anything without coming through that vessel, and respecting that transition from universe to physical form through woman. If you don't respect that, if you don't see that, then you're in the world of hurt.
It's interesting because now I'm not a religious guy at all.
And you don't have to be religious.
No,
spiritual.
I am definitely that.
There you go. That's all you got.
But I also look at the energies of the universe, the ley lines. You know what I'm saying? And what strikes me the most is this: the soul is energy. It's a spark of divinity. That means I'm God. You know what I'm saying? I am made in his image. You know what I'm saying? What that also tells me is that innately, God has to be both good and bad.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody who wants to blame the bad only on a Lucifer or a Satan character, you're bugging. But it never made sense to me that man came before women.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. I recognize that if you want to call him Yahweh, Jehovah, Zeus, God, whatever, I don't think the All Father, the All Creator cares about a name. Thank you, Kat. Don't fuck with my camera. I don't think the All Father cares about a name. What I think he cares about is that his creation lives well and does well and treats each other and the planet we live on and the animals with respect and reverence. But I think the woman, Black woman, because all life started in Africa, science teaches us that. So the Black woman is the most powerful, absolutely, of them of all women. That's not taking anything away from anybody, but it's facts. It's the genome.
You don't even have to say that. It's facts.
The genome in them is more powerful and just more capable than almost
Let me tell you something.
Any other.
at one point in the world, I don't know when, but at one point in the world, men decided to say, I want to take the power away from women.
That's called patriarchy. Rose with religion.
If you look at some of the ancient like paintings and art,
yep,
religion or whatever, right? When you go back to like the real Egyptian African times, they talked about man, woman, and child.
Right.
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 When the Europeans came into Africa and they took over, they turned it into man,
Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Son and the Holy Ghost. They cut the woman out.
They took the woman all out of that.
Took the woman all out of that.
You're missing a part of the equation.
Yeah. I feel as though there was some type of war cast upon the woman. Like, yo, we cutting you out of here. We got to take away some of your power. But yo, at the end of the day, we can never have. We don't come from man. No, we come from woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we come from womb man.
Right.
The womb.
Womb.
That's where we come from. And the Europeans took that away from us. When you go back and look at our African heritage, we always kept that 3-part.
Right.
Man, woman, and child. Right. That's the real spiritual being.
Now here's something funny. We only have Egypt as a tangible source of evidence of what we had, but we forget about Sumer, Mesopotamia, mm-hmm. and all these other places that were also within the African continent. Mm-hmm. These ancient civilizations that also were largely...
And not just Egypt. Before Egypt, we had Kush.
Right, which were all largely matriarchal societies, meaning that the women was revered and the women ruled. There are still tribes in Africa where women are the rulers. You know what I'm saying? I think it's incumbent upon us to recognize the power of women.
Listen, let me tell you something. I give the utmost respect to our sisters because, man, let me tell you something. Yo, if we had to push a baby out of our assholes,
that's not where it would come out either.
Nigga,
you know that.
Shoot me in the fucking head right now.
You know that's not where it's coming out.
Yo,
that's not where it's coming out.
Wherever. Shoot me in the head right now. Bow. I'll take it.
I'll take the shot. Cut me open after that and take the baby out, but don't make me push.
Women, they're so strong. They can endure so much more than we can.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? No doubt, we can be the hunters, the gatherers, and even in some parts of the world, even with animals, lions. The
lionesses hunt
is to go out there. So, and throughout our nature, women is the more. Is the
always
stronger being, I believe, and that's why I say
almost every species.
Black woman is God, son.
In almost every species, the female is the stronger, more aggressive, more powerful of the species. Look at black widow spiders. Shit, only the female mosquito bites. Like, right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
look at bees.
Bees.
The queen sits in and sends out a whole army. A whole army. Imagine if you could actually hear those conversations inside the beehive.
Oh no, I don't. I have imagined that, and that drove me crazy. So no, I don't want to think about that.
What the queen bee is saying inside that hive?
Right. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Or ants. Ants.
And ants.
Same thing. Like, but then again, we as humans are deeply interconnected to every aspect of nature, plant, animal, and everything else.
But we've been reconditioned.
Yeah.
We've been reconditioned.
Yeah, because now we live in urban jungles.
Correct. If we wasn't infiltrated by the Europeans, we would have a more closer concept with nature. we're so far away from nature and how things maneuver, because we would see how our female, like we've had female pharaohess or whatever you want to call it, or whatever.
Pharaohs. No, they were pharaohs.
And then you see how nature had, like we just talked about, the lioness, the queen bees, and like we would be more closer to nature. We're so far away from, not even just nature, we're so far away from our own
natural essence.
Yeah.
That's why I moved to the mountain, bro. I swear to God, that's part of the reason I moved to the mountain, to reconnect with nature. Because I recognized that I needed to feel grass and trees and hear the whisper of God through those trees. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I needed that.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And this, I think hunting is an important thing, an important skill that we all should learn. But I do want to ask you this. Does your daughter take any martial arts?
Nah, she doesn't take martial arts. I kind of do like a little thing with her where what Bruce Lee used to do with his daughter. I used to do this with my cousin, which is so crazy. Like my little cousin Amani, she was so great at this. My little cousin Amani, she's like the biggest Lost Boy too. She knows all the Lost Boys that better than fucking some of the Lost Boys that's been down for years. What I do with her is this, right? Hold up the hands.
Yep.
I start off slow,
and then speed it up.
And then speed it up.
Yeah.
And I try that with my daughter. She's okay with it. But I pick on her. I just walk up on her and just like surprise her out of nowhere, like, you know what I'm saying? I give her some street shit. You know
okay.
Like I'm more harder on her, like, than I was like with like my little cousin. Like I literally gotta, to me in my head, I gotta show you like you gotta be ready for anything and everything. You know what I'm saying? If I sneak up behind you or whatever, I need you to be on point.
Well, I'm a firm believer that every young lady should know martial arts. Boxing, jiu-jitsu, Krav Maga, something where every young lady should know how to defend herself.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you didn't have a daughter, do you think you would view the world the same way?
If I didn't have a daughter, would I view the world the same way? Absolutely. But what I would, so were you saying like if I had like a son?
Right.
I would definitely treat my son and teach him differently.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because with females, they're a little bit more fragile, and
that's not true.
To me, I mean, I know there's a bunch of fucking females out there right now who's probably in the army, like, what are you talking about?
For Voltron!
Yeah. But at the end of the day, you're girls. You know what I'm saying? You're girls, and regardless of how strong you are, that doesn't mean we still gotta treat you with a sense of damn, what's the word I'm looking for? We gotta treat you with a different type of way. I can't treat you the same way I'm gonna treat a boy at the end of the day, regardless of how equality is supposed to be and all of that. I'm not going to treat my daughter the same way I treat my son.
Right.
I just can't. It's different. Mentality is different and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Why is that?
Why?
All right, let me phrase it.
No.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me put it to you like this. If you knew how to fix cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you teach your daughter how to fix a car?
Of course.
Okay. You teach your son as well?
Of course.
Okay. Is there anything that you know as a man that you would feel uncomfortable or not feel like teaching your daughter as opposed to teaching your son?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like
So
what?
for instance, right? So growing up, and let me tell you, not to say that all this shit is correct. I want y'all to hear this. Not saying that what I'm saying is absolutely correct.
Right.
I grew up in a place and I grew up in a time where not everything was correct. You know what I'm saying? And people probably taught me wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my understanding of it might be conditionalized. We kind of talked about this on one of our last shows, on the 10th show of the Slang Editorial show, which you can look at.
We'll check that out right now. It's on YouTube, Spotify,
yeah,
iTunes.
It's on YouTube and Spotify. You know, but for instance, right? I remember my uncle telling me, he said, yo, you ever get locked up, you look at them in your eyes like this, and then you go crazy on them. I can't tell my daughter that. But
no.
would I tell my son that?
No.
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 I will. Yes,
why?
I will. Hold on.
That's wrong.
No,
don't tell them that. No.
Listen. If my son was to ever getting locked up and he's in county or whatever, nigga, you got
go to the Brookings. You gonna tell him to go crazy? You need to go to the Brookings.
Not go crazy, but you can't go in there looking.
I mean, listen.
Like this. Hold on. Let me finish.
All right.
Ask me a question. Let me finish. You can't go in there looking like this, nigga. All your phone calls is gonna be taken. Right? All your phone calls is gonna be taken, nigga. So I gotta tell my son a different way of handling himself. But my daughter, I can't see myself having that type of conversation with
Why?
her.
They're just as dangerous in the women's prison?
Like I said, it's conditioning. You see your daughters as little princesses and never see them in those predicaments.
And guess what?
As a young black man, I could automatically see that my son might be in that situation.
All right.
Now, when it comes to my daughter, that's not the predicament that I might see her in.
So
I
maybe
see her in. I need to stop her from getting on a pole.
No. Well, all right. So then, okay. So I don't have children. Mm-hmm. I have not created any children. The closest I have is what I'll call my stepdaughter from my ex-girlfriend. And Yaya, you know, I love you, still here. You know you're my baby. But I will say that a perspective shift might be in order. Instead of seeing them as little princesses, which is unfathomable and unattainable, why don't you see them as warriors? Little warriors.
Oh, that's hard.
Not soldiers. Not soldiers, but warriors. Because if you remember Black Panther, Wakanda forever. If you remember Black Panther, remember Okoye?
The chick with the
yeah, that's a warrior.
Absolutely.
Beautiful, intelligent, powerful.
Absolutely.
Take shit from warrior.
And resemblance of our ancestors.
And you wouldn't be afraid to tell her some real shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're not afraid to tell a warrior the truth. You want to shield a princess, but in this world, is shielding them the right thing to do?
You know what? Let me get to one point first. As a father, you're never gonna see your daughter as a warrior. You don't want her to be a warrior. You want to be the warrior for her.
Right. But you're not gonna be here forever.
I get that, and you're absolutely right. But to say now you want to build them up to have warrior skin.
Right.
But to actually imagine them as in being out in the forefront and war for themselves, then to me, it's like I'm not doing my job. My job is to shield you. I'm your shield.
For a time.
For a time.
For a time. But you got to remember, you still have to prepare them for that big bad world out there that wants to kick them when they're down.
Correct.
That's where that warrior mentality, that's that Mamba mentality.
And I have to prepare you for the day that I'm no longer here, right? But as long as I'm here, I'm your fucking warrior. I'm your warrior. I'm your shield. You know what I'm saying? And I understand what you're saying, but
it's hard.
Yeah, it is hard.
It's hard. It's hard to see that.
And you know, it's even hard to explain as you asking me this, bro. And it's great conversation and great questions because I really don't even know how to explain it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that I know that, nigga, I'm standing in front of anything that come your way. I'm your fucking warrior. Right. You know what I'm saying? Until the day that I'm no longer here. But as we go through the day and day, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to try to prepare your toolbox. I want to make sure that you have all the tools in your box for when I'm no longer here. You can reach in that toolbox and be like, yo, dad taught me this, dad gave me that, and I got armor. You know what I'm saying?
This is and she got the armor from you, and this is where the martial arts comes in, because that'll help the determination and spirit and drive. That'll bring the perfect human into the forefront that you helped create and mold. Because again, you're like, there's going to come a time where you're going to have to let her fly from the nest, so to speak.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean,
you know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, that day is coming sooner rather than later.
Absolutely, because she's already 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it will be coming soon. And shit, I'll probably be kicking her out the door. Fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, party! Get out of here! You're bothering me.
Go find life.
Word up. But, and now let me ask you this, and kind of keeping into the same subject. I know I've learned a lot in life from fucking up.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
How have your mistakes molded you to who you are now?
Oh man, my mistakes, bro. I still live with them, man. I still live with them on a daily basis. You know, I grew up. I'll tell you this, right? My brother. I remember during high school when we was in Jack. You know what I'm saying? My brother, he went to Cardoza.
Okay.
Yeah, he went to Cardoza. I believe it was Cardoza. He used to be in the living room, dining room, doing homework. And I'd be running outside, going out to hustle. And I still remember this shit like it was nothing. I'm going outside, I got packs on me. I see my brother in the living room doing his fucking homework. My brother owns a house, manager, post office, and all that other shit. And I'm like, damn, man, he went right when I was going left. He went right when I was going left. I think about that to this day. Like, you know what I'm saying? When I should have been sitting back and, yo, let's do homework together. Let's do homework together.
Teach me something.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was outside doing the fucking wrong things. I feel as though like those mistakes still coming to kind of bite me in the ass today. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we don't hurt for nothing. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? We can still get whatever we need, but at the same time, I know like my mistakes, or my decisions, being in the streets as a young kid affects me still to this day. Still to this day. I mean, to the point where there's things I probably can't even talk to you about right now. You know what I'm saying? On you know what I'm saying? But
there might be a statute of limitations on certain things, but I get that. we gonna worry about that.
All I'm saying is that you know, it still comes to kind of bite me back in the ass to this day because I didn't buckle down and I went to the streets instead of focusing on education.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I really try to preach to my daughter now, like, yo, how important education is, because it'll get you somewhere.
Yes.
If you use it right. If you use it in the right way, it will get you in places where you can have a better day-to-day in your life. You know what I'm saying? Not saying your life will be perfect. Nobody's life is gonna be perfect.
No.
But you can have, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I feel a little bit comfortable. I got a house. You know what I'm saying? I got this. I got, you know, I can travel whenever I want.
You ever thought about getting out of New York?
No, I have not. My wife wants me to. I'm a New York murder.
Me too, yo, dog. I'm from where you're from, and yet I live in the mountains in Pennsylvania.
I can never do that.
Yes, you could. Don't say never.
Listen, I can have a house out there. I can have a house out there, go out there for a week.
Nah,
I can't
yo.
live out there.
Why not?
I can't do it.
Why not? Better quality of life for you and your daughter, your wife.
And be around on Trump supporters?
There's not as many as you might think. And look at it. Biden won Pennsylvania.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
And listen, not for nothing, I know mad Trump supporters. And you know what? They cool as shit.
No, I was joking when
I know, but they are, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, one thing I've discovered, especially from living here in that shit, is that who you vote for does not make you who you are.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
I got one of my best friends, my brother. He's in between on being Democrat and Republican and all that.
Right.
Stuff. That, you know, that doesn't matter. But just me being a city guy, I can't see myself living for years in such a type of rural area.
Right, you're 2 hours away from the city. Anytime you need to get to the city, you go.
I can have a house out there, bro.
Listen, let me tell you something. Here, there, I'll say this. Let me say this. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, $1,375 a month.
Oh, that's crazy.
No water bill.
Stop. I need you to stop.
No water bill.
I need you to stop. I need you to stop. 2 bedrooms, almost 16.
Exactly. With a 1/4 acre of land.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. The fuck out of New York, yo. Fuck New York. I love New York. I love it.
Yo, when you say shit like that, like, I can't defeat that.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't win against that. I can't win against that when niggas paying $1,600 for 2.
For a 2 bed, you know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make no sense.
And let me tell you, that's because niggas been here for years. If you just moved to Brooklyn or whatever, nigga, you looking at like 22.
Yeah, exactly.
You
exactly.
22.
Come on, man. The gentrification's a motherfucker, boy.
Yeah, man. So you like living in Pennsylvania?
I love it here. I love it. It is peaceful. It's calm. You know how many times I see the police? I couldn't tell you because I barely see their ass.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? I don't hear sirens. I don't hear my neighbors. Unless they're throwing a party, which, you know, it's winter. They're not doing that. And there's mad New Yorkers up here. There's mad shit. Rakim lives up here.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Fucking Billy Danz lives up here.
Oh,
Cool G Rap lives up here.
Billy's my guy.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, look, I'll be honest with you. Like, Cap is in Georgia. It's beautiful. Mm-hmm. They got some archaic-ass laws as far as women's reproductive rights are concerned, but, you know, it's a good place.
Mm-hmm.
But I live 2 hours from New York. So if I need to get back, I can.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But, shit, you got a whip. You get a job. You know what I mean? You do what you do. And shit. I don't know what you do for a day job if you do that. but I guarantee you, your dollar don't stretch as far down there as it does up here.
Of course it's not.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yo, what's the gun laws like out there?
you have felonies?
No.
Then you can walk into a gun store and purchase one.
What?
Yeah.
Dope.
I walked right into the joint, bought me a fucking shotgun, Mossberg 12 gauge.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Gun range is at the state park. It's free. You know what I'm saying? They got the pay, they got the pay ones, but, and I ain't gonna lie, before I moved up here, I was a total anti-gun person.
Okay.
Totally. Like, I was not
you
for
was
guns.
Anti-gun? Why?
And because I associated guns with killing my friends and killing people I cared about and killing people in the hood and shit. You know what I'm saying? I looked at guns as exactly what a lot of people look at them as, just a evil thing. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know about them. See, the difference between here and New York City, not New York State or Long Island, just the 5 boroughs.
Okay.
I grew up in Queens, so Green Acres Mall is right there. Technically, Green Acres Mall is Long Island.
Correct.
Right? So I can walk into Walmart and purchase a fucking gun, but the minute I bring it 5 minutes across the street, I've committed a felony.
Correct.
Oh. We don't. Now, I'm old enough to remember when there were gun stores and gun ranges in Queens and Times Square and all that shit. I'm old enough to remember that. Giuliani basically took that away from us. I think Dinkins started it, but Giuliani, finished it.
Yeah, he put the nail in the coffin.
So we didn't grow up with guns prevalent in our household, and again, we didn't grow up with our dads most of the time, so we didn't have that person that would teach us those things. Now, here in Pennsylvania,
in Pennsylvania, you probably
right
had that.
Now, here in Pennsylvania, the first day of hunting season, you get that off from school. Okay, that's like a holiday. Here in Pennsylvania, you'll get your first gun when you're 4 or 5. It's a fucking, little pellet gun. It's a rite of passage. So once you learn not to shoot yourself in the face or in the eye or shoot somebody, you know what I'm saying? You progressively learn. So then the next thing you get is a .22 rifle. You know what I'm saying? And you go shoot at some squirrels and your dad, you know what I'm saying? You go hunting with your dad and da-da-da-da. Then you'll get a shotgun. Then you'll get a revolver or a pistol. Then you'll get a fucking AR. Progressively as you get more and more advanced at it. But it's in your household. You see it every day. You know better than to go your dad is cleaning the gun. You know what I'm saying? It's those little things. When you clean your gun and you showing your son or your daughter. And my brother, he's got 4 kids, 1 son, 3 girls. He's got 40 something guns, and he shows his son and his daughter, they're the oldest ones, how to clean them, where they're at, how to use them. It's teaching. You know what I'm saying? That knowledge is what we needed in the hood. We didn't have it because in the hood, the closest thing to go do is you go see your boy. He got a toast. Where you going? To the alley or to the roof or to the fucking the backyard, or you know what I'm saying? Anybody could get shot that way.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So we didn't have the resources. We didn't have gun ranges that we could just go to or go out into the woods and go hunt. You know what I'm saying? But that's something we should have. We should have those teachings.
Let me ask you, coming from New York City, coming from Queens,
right?
Do you think that it is a good thing for, let's just say, because a lot of times we really don't have our pops around. We don't have two-parent households. Even though people think, I swear to God, people think that Queens, we got 2-parent households and because we got houses and whatever. There's 2 parents in there, whatever. Let's just say, you did have the pops. You think that they should show you about guns where we come from?
Yes. Yes, because a gun is a tool just like any other tool. So if you use it incorrectly, you stand the risk of hurting yourself or someone else.
Correct.
So if you learn how to use it the proper way, you won't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll give you the perfect example. I bought my first gun this year, back in March. Mm-hmm. Thank you, COVID check. I bought my first gun. I recently went to the gun range, and I was shooting something for this and not paying attention. There were 2 people downrange. Now, they were on another section of the range, but they were still downrange. They were fixing their target up. And I'm doing what I do, and I turned to the camera, and without even thinking about it, I let a shot out of my shotgun. And everybody flipped on me, which was the correct thing to do.
Right.
Because I was wrong. Because I wasn't doing exactly what I was preaching, was being safe and making sure that the people who were downrange were safely out of harm's way back where they should be, where it was time for me to shoot. So that was my mistake. You know what I'm saying? Now,
they carried you up out of there?
No, they didn't carry me out of there, but they definitely didn't carry me out of there, but they definitely let me know how wrong I was. And I don't begrudge them for it. Now, name none of them.
That's only right.
You know what I'm saying? Because now, luckily, I use a shotgun shell that's designed for more of a cluster shot than to spread.
Then long range, right. Okay.
No, I mean, it's long range, but it's like normally shotguns, the shells spread, the bearings and the pellets spread, depending on what type of shell you're using. I was using, the shot I let loose was a bird shot. That's what Dick Cheney shot homie in the face with. You know what I'm saying? So bird shot may not kill you, but it's definitely going to hurt you.
Okay.
Buckshot will fucking kill you. The next round in my shotgun was buckshot. So luckily I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And I loaded it that way specifically, but the shells I use, the brand I use, they're designed to, instead of spread out massively, they're designed to cluster more. So luckily that was that. Nobody got hurt, but still, that was my mistake. And I largely feel that if I'd have been learning about guns much earlier, it's not even a mistake that would have ever happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, now I'm not anti-gun, obviously. But, I know people who did die from gun violence. We all know Sean Bell and my boy Jason Powell. That was like one of his best friends. So, like, I look at that. I look at Amadou Diallo. I look at, just everybody I know that might have been shot at 50. Shit, man. Fucking that man took 9 shots and lived. Good on him.
Yeah.
But not everybody's that lucky.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. So my relationship with guns has definitely changed, but again, that's something if that's something you're interested in teaching your daughter how to do, this is the place to do it.
Well, I definitely was thinking about it the other day. I have a cousin-in-law who reaches out to me a lot and tells me about like different houses and stuff that's on sale for like in Baltimore and stuff like that. Not really interested in moving to Baltimore, but somewhere closer, I'm looking to kind of create like some type of realty business.
Okay.
And I would like to have a space where I can just go and get free.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily because I'm a city dude.
Right.
I don't want to leave the city. I'm not gonna lie. I never want to leave the city. But there's times where I would definitely want to just have like a week's vacation, maybe 2 weeks, and just be free from everything else, I'm down for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But as of just living somewhere else and outside of the city, I don't see myself doing that. I just don't.
Give it time. Give it time.
I've been to Utah before.
Wow. That's a beautiful place.
Yeah, you know what? My father took me on a trip through a road trip through the West Coast for my 21st birthday.
Nice.
We went from Vegas to Arizona to Utah, and then we went back to San Diego.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, had a kind of road trip with my dad. And that shit was beautiful. When I was in Utah, I love Utah. There was one of the national parks or something. I think it was Yosemite National Park or whatever. I walked barefoot through lakes and shit, sat on rocks, did shit like this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Just don't pee in those lakes. That's how you get parasites. But
oh, I never knew about shit like that. What do you mean? You pee in a lake and get a parasite?
Yeah, there are parasitic organisms that live in certain lakes. So like when you pee, you release the urine, but you open your urethra. So that will allow some microscopic parasites to fly in there and latch on. And Science Channel, man. Look, while y'all was playing basketball, I was reading books. Yo.
How do you know of this shit? What are you talking about? What the fuck you be watching, Frank?
Everything.
Listen, this is the To Be Frank show, and he's definitely frankly with you.
Yeah, word up. But yo, listen, brother, I want to thank you so much for coming in, man. I appreciate you, man. I know I kept you a little longer than I said I would, but
nah, it's all good, man. It's what's up, man. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it. And please don't make this the first and last.
No, hell no. So like I said, come January, we're going to do Hip Hop Appreciation Month. I've got a whole slate of different episodes planned. So hopefully you'll be able to come up to PA and just come sit on the couch, man. Do it live, man. That'd be dope.
Yo, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I got some family in PA. We might make that happen.
Listen.
And hell, hold on, just to let you know, man, I'm proud of what you're doing.
Thank you, brother.
I love the fact that you're staying committed and you're doing your goddamn thing. And you have great content too.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You have real good content. I like how you handle shit. I actually see you doing like a fucking a late night show and shit. You know what I'm saying? You might have to take Jimmy Fallon out the chair. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? Seth Meyers is my guy. You know what I'm saying? I fucks with him, man.
Yo, look, fuck all that shit, man. We might have to move him out the way.
Word up. Yeah, you good. You good.
We might have to call the Queens team. Like, yo, you got to move, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Do him like Hollis and Woodhull do, man.
Yeah, my man Frank coming in, man.
Yeah, listen. Doe Boy Sumz, ladies and gentlemen. You can catch him on the Slang Editorial Podcast. I'll drop the link will be in the description. You know that. You can download Footerflex, Nike Box, and all other Doe Boy Sumz and on Spotify and iTunes and all that. Doe Jones clothing is in effect. So hit that website, get your gear up. You know what I'm saying? They got some fresh shit.
You already see it.
You know what I'm saying? Like
New York Style Exchange. You know
what I'm saying? That's how we do, man.
Yeah. We do. Yo.
Doe Boy Sumz. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
One.
All
right. That was my boy Doe Boy Sumz, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? So it's my guy right there. You know what I'm saying? I'll drop the link for everything in there for that. Give me a moment. We'll be right back. I'm going to come back with another guest because it's Saturday night, and this is how the fuck we do. You know what I'm saying? I'll be right back, y'all. This is the Just Be Frank podcast. Give me a moment. Enjoy these commercials. it probably won't be commercials. It's just gonna cut right into the next shit. But I like saying it. It's fun. Don't fucking judge me. Doe Boy Sumz, ladies and gentlemen, was my dude. Man, that was awesome, man. I appreciate him for joining us, man. That shit was fun. Definitely check out the Slang Editorial Podcast. Like I said, I'll drop a link in the description of the video and everything, definitely, so you can check that out. You know, I'm texting with him right now. Everything's in real time, people. Everything's in real time. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's how we do. But this has been a good night. Saturday night has been definitely different. I did not anticipate what the fudge muppet is this. Why is this open? Okay. So, as I said, we're good to go. You know what I mean? So that was Doe Boy Sumz. In a minute, I'm going to bring in my homegirl, Shakirah, and we're going to have some fun with that one because she's amazing. I can't lie. Like, I am enamored with her to the umpteenth degree. Like, I think she's beautiful, she's smart, she's sexy, she's intelligent. Like, she's a warrior, like I was talking about. Like, she's a phenomenal woman. Word up. And I can't wait to bring her in. So as soon as she taps in, I'll bring her in. In the meantime, yeah, man, Doe Boy Sumz, you know, it's interesting, man, because that's one of my good friends, man, and it's great to see him doing well. I'm trying to get everybody to move to Pennsylvania. I'm like, man, fuck New York. I love New York. Don't get me wrong, man. I love where I'm from, but there is freedom outside of it, and I think that is what drew me to this place where I'm at. So I don't know. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like, yo, the city, like I definitely miss there are many aspects of New York that I miss. Bodegas. You know what I'm saying? The ability to wake up at 3 in the morning, like, damn, I'm hungry. I want something to eat. Let me go get a sandwich. And the store is open making sandwiches. You know what I mean? It's little things, you know what I mean? It's little things. But I don't think I'll ever live in the city again, man. It's just weird. It's a weird thing. I don't think I'll ever live in the city again. But that's neither here nor there. So, in a moment, I'm bringing my homegirl Shakirah. In the meantime, y'all get to deal with me for the next few minutes. And yeah, man. So, as I said, I was listening to that Jay Prince interview on Joe Rogan, and it was very, very inspiring. You know, Joe Rogan has a way of talking to people that allows them to genuinely just be themselves. And Jay Prince definitely embodied that and allowed him to speak freely and in a way that you felt like you learned a lot from that guy. And you know, Jay Prince is somebody that if you're a fan of hip hop, you know who that is. And if you don't, you ain't done your homework, son. Like, Jay Prince is somebody that Jay-Z looks up to. It's somebody that anybody looks up to, because he started literally from the bottom and then worked his way to the top of the food chain. You know what I'm saying? Now, there are people who say he did this or that, you know what I mean, whatever. But all I heard was positivity coming from the brother. You know, so I can't stress that enough. Like, positivity is important. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you might say, think, or do, you know what I'm saying? That's what was presented. Now, is there anything underlying or different in the underbelly of it? Possibly. Does that matter to me? Not particularly. The reason for that, because I'm Frank Starfire, baby. I don't give a fuck about miscellaneous bullshit like that. Fuck that. That's stupid. Like, why would I care about such malarkey? That has no effect or bearing on anything that I'm doing. The only thing I heard was positivity. So that's what I'm going to focus on. You know what I'm saying? Is there some negative? Oh, I'm sure. But that's half the fun of living. Nothing's perfect. There's no such thing as perfection. Whatever. I'm fucking... Don't mind me. I've been drinking, obviously. On a different note, I want to share this with you all. My brother, J.O., my oldest brother, is apparently in the hospital with organ failure or something. And I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that. I mean, don't get it twisted. I'm saddened. I'm hurt. It's my brother. Like, blood brother, not like, you know. But I don't know, man. Like, I think it's mainly because I'm not very comfortable with the concept of death, if that makes any sense. So I try and avoid it as much as possible. But I don't know, man. Like, I just don't know. I don't know how to feel. You know, I'm fairly ambivalent about it. And I'm not entirely sure how to feel about that. But that's the truth. You know what I mean? Is it right? Probably not. But is it how I feel? Yes. So hopefully he manages to pull through. I don't know. Unfortunately, my brother has had some substance issues in his past and alcoholism and all that. So I am not perpetuating the good cycle of that by not drinking, because you saw me just pour more whiskey. But again, what can I say? I mean, and I trust me, I'm only laughing and smiling because if I don't do that, the exact opposite will happen, and I'll just fucking go crazy, and that's not going to help. Level head. I like to keep a level head. I like to make sure that my brain is in a good space. And my cat Claw came to visit. Hello, Claw. What's up, buddy? Okay. How are you? Yes. This is Claw, ladies and gentlemen. He just bit my damn chin, you little fuck nugget. Y'all saw my cat just trying to get at me, right? Y'all seen that shit. So y'all think I'm bugging when I tell you my cat is an asshole. Cat just trying to fucking bit my chin and shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Dumbass. That's Claw, ladies and gentlemen. He's a moron. No, that's my dude. I love him. He's a but he is an asshole. What do you want? Food? Like, do you want food? Is that it? Well, you'll have to wait. I'm recording. So, I was waiting for my homegirl Shakirah to come on in. She said give her 7 minutes, so I'll give her 7 minutes. I have no problem with this. So you get to spend some more time with just me. I know that's probably not as much fun, but you know what? I also don't care. So, I don't know. If this were live, I'd tell you to talk to me. Tell me what the fuck is going on. But this is not live. So, yeah. I have been up since 3:30 this morning. Actually, I've been up since 3. Woke up at 3. And I don't know if many of you know what that feels like, but after a full day of work and then running my mouth for the last 2.5 hours, I'm actually quite tired. Am I going to stop? No, because that's not what we do here. This is the Just to Be Frank podcast, and we keep talking, no matter how much it annoys everybody. Yes, I need a teeth cleaning. Why didn't y'all tell me my shit was all fucked? Well, I drink like 14 cups of coffee a day, so there's that. And as you can see, I kind of smoke and shit like that. I'm trying to stop. It's not easy. You know what's funny? I am trying to stop smoking cigarettes, so maybe y'all can kind of help me with that. I am trying to stop. It's very difficult, I find, because they're constantly around me. So I don't know. It's one of those things that I wish I wasn't doing, and yet I still do it. I know I shouldn't, and yet them's the breaks, kid. You know? I don't know. Are you all tired of listening to me yet? No? Oh, good, because I'm not done yet. As I said, I'm going to bring my homegirl Shakirah Moore up in here, and we're going to talk about a number of things. I'm going to leave that a bit of a surprise, though, because there's a bunch of things that she's kind of into that is really, really dope. And I can't lie, because I've got a bunch of alcohol in my system, I might flirt with her. Knowing that she can actively kick my ass, though, maybe not. But it's nice to know. So, I don't know. Thank you for joining me in the Just to Be Frank podcast. I am, of course, your host, Frank Starfire. Uncle Frank Starfire to some. I am an actual uncle, so there's that. Yeah. This is Evan Williams Tennessee whiskey. It's pretty good, and it's not that expensive. It's a better alternative to Jack Daniels if you're a Jack Daniels fan. I am. But I'm also poor, so hence the Evan Williams. I like this new camera, though. This is nice. I enjoy it. Yeah, I got a new camera and shit. I don't know if y'all know about Quad Pay. They're not paying me to advertise this, but shit's kind of dope. I'm actually enjoying using it. I bought a bunch of gifts for using it. I have actually never in my life purchased Christmas gifts. This is actually the first year I've actually ever purchased Christmas gifts for people. So it's kind of weird to me because I'm not really that great at gift giving. Like, I'm not a gifter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know what it is? I don't like shopping. I find it tedious and boring, so I don't enjoy doing it. But this year, I was able to pick up a couple of great items because of quad pay. Yes, I yawned. I'm tired. What the fuck? I just said I woke up at 3 a.m. Like, what the fuck you want from me? So, yeah. I definitely picked up some great gifts this year. Luckily, my brother told me exactly what he wanted, so that wasn't hard. And for my sister, I got her a well, I'm not actually going to tell you what I got her because actually she don't watch this. So I got her like this nail file-y thing because, you know, she likes to go get her nails done and shit, but COVID, you know, was doing nails now. So practical gifts. Like, I ain't gonna lie, if you got kids and I'm giving them gifts, it's gonna be a book. And it ain't gonna be no kids book neither. They're gonna get a grown-ass man, adult-ass book. Like some fucking Catcher in the Rye type shit. I don't give kids kid books because, you know, I want kids to be smart. And my lifelong love of reading, thank you, there, okay? Whiskey, again, fuck. My lifelong love of reading started at 3, man, so I give adult books. Just give me 1 second. All right. And Shakirah should be here momentarily. And just hit the link. Yep, that's all you gotta do. Hit the link. I'll bring you in, girl. Oh, okay. Okay, hold on one moment. I'll be right back. All right, we are back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to bring in my homegirl, Shakirah Moore, ladies and gentlemen. So, yay! I see your lovely picture.
Finally, yes. I'm like, wait, it says you're letting me in. And then,
yeah, you're in. What's up?
Yes. How you doing?
I am well. How are you?
Tired, busy.
Well, listen, that's a good thing, isn't it?
That's a great thing. Yes, giving thanks.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on the Just to Be Frank podcast. Shakirah Moore, ladies and gentlemen. Clap. There's claps. I don't know if there are claps. I have no idea how that works. But listen, I've been sipping whiskey all night. I've done 2 interviews already, so this will be a kind of a trifecta episode, I guess. Or I might just split it into 2 different ones. I don't know how I'm going to do this. But your tea is phenomenal.
Oh, which one are you drinking?
The respiratory one and,
yes.
And the King's tonic.
Okay.
LeVar Bins. That was your latest order to my that we live in the same house. So when it comes here, I'm getting it. Word up. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
But he loves your tea. I love your tea. It's phenomenal. It feels good. I don't even know where to begin with you, man. Because I ain't gonna lie. When you were here, I was telling the people who aren't actually here yet because we're not live. But I was telling the people like, yo, she's this amazing young lady who does so many amazing things. She's one of the smartest people I've ever met, and she could probably kick my ass. So, you know, that was like that. I mean, I kind of got that in a nutshell. But tell people your bona fides and exactly what it is that you do.
Yes. Giving thanks for right now, this time to share on your platform. My name is Dr. Shakirah Moore. I'm a board certified iridologist. And what I do is I can look into your eyes and tell you what diseases that you may have, what ailments, what areas of weakness that may be present in your body. And from there, I know exactly what herbal detox, what foods to detox you better with so that you're not guessing with your health. Okay, a lot of us, sometimes things are wrong and we'll grab this herb, we'll do different things that doesn't serve us. But with iridology, there's no guessing. I know exactly where to pinpoint the challenge. So that is what I teach. And I would always be passionate about what I do because it's truly preventative medicine. And we need to gravitate to this more so that we can have the right mindset for 2021.
All right. So let's break this down real quick. You can look in somebody's eyes,
yes,
and decipher their ailments.
That's right.
Okay. Now, and the way you say diseases, I've seen you write it, so I know that there's a specific definition you give to that. Can you explain that to people?
Yes, absolutely. I'm glad you asked that question. I say diseases with the dash in between the S and the E because that is exactly what it is. It's a dis-ease. Your body is not in harmony with itself, so the body is not at ease at that moment. So once you begin to detox, you will become more harmoniously balanced with yourself. Okay. And this is talking about resisting and not being in a resisting state. We know exactly what to feed our cars. We without a question, we put gas in the gas tank. You wouldn't put, part of my language, but you wouldn't put piss in the gas tank. You understand what I'm saying? So
this is Just Be Frank podcast. You can cuss on here, girl.
Not who I was talking to. But yes, you wouldn't put that in the gas tank because the car is going to break down. So we know when we need steering wheel fluid, and the mechanic will tell you if you need brake pads and all of these different things. But when it comes to our body, we lack the signs to act when something goes wrong, or when not something goes wrong, when the body's not at ease. So you're eating something and you're getting a sore throat. That's just the body's way of telling you that whatever you're eating doesn't belong there. So now it starts to regurgitate it, right, in the form of mucus. When it comes to anything that we're doing, as far as overeating, and then now the stomach is backed up. So these is different signs that we are not intuitive anymore to ourselves. So this is what I teach, to be in tune with self so that you're not constantly going in circles with dis-ease challenges.
Now, all right. So for people who, God, I hate to say this, but for the stupid people, like, how do you, because I that's another word you spell differently, CELL apostrophe F. You spell self in that way.
Yes.
Your lingo and your verbiage is very distinct for that, because you basically, instead of saying things in a way where a normal person, a layman might, you literally will spell out exactly what it is you're directing this message towards. How do you do that in a way that makes it easy for people to understand? Because it's not something that is very easy to understand. You understand what I mean?
Right. So how do I break it down on a daily, or what do I?
Well, I mean, like you say you teach people how to do this. How do you give it to somebody who may not be as versed as you are in the cells and everything? Like,
giving thanks. Yes, I'm glad you asked that. I'm actually coming out with a book next year.
Nice.
A very, very, very simple guide to iridology.
Okay.
For a very easy to read for even teenagers to understand iridology and what it's going to be called, iridology and its relation to the cosmos. Okay, so just learning how this is related to the space and time that we are in, and how the eyes are so powerful to space and time. When it comes to using certain verbiage like cells, self, what I do is, one of the things that I teach is that there's no greater study than a study of yourself. And then, you know, I make sure that I put the CELLF in parentheses so that they know that I'm talking about the self, the cells. Then we go into the cells and how, you know, you are just a conglomerate of a billion cells. You are a light portal, you know. And one of the interesting things that my clients we go into is that, you know, because I do spiritual as well, we don't separate anything, you know, is that, you know, you are light first, you are spirit first. And we need to begin to start feeding our so that we're not constantly, again, going back and forth in circles. So this program, this course that I have everyone on is bringing you back, you know, to who you are. You know, this term, like I said, these terms may sound unfamiliar, but it's always been there. That's why a lot of people, they come to me saying, wow, it touched me, because it's already within you. You understand? It's already part of your library. In your cerebellum, which is a part of the brain. It's already there. So I'm just here to awaken that part. You know, it sounds interesting. It sounds fun. People are like, wow, this is different.
So
you feel me?
All right. Well, I ain't gonna lie. I literally just had my first tarot card reading on this podcast on the last episode. So nothing is out of the realm of possibility to me. But basically what I'm getting is that you're telling people and you're giving people the information that the cellular knowledge of their perfect self basically is locked within them.
Yes.
They just have to consume the right foods and herbs and vibrancy in order to unleash it.
That's right. That's exactly right. You know, you're locked in a cell. You know, there's a saying that if you don't acquire the proper knowledge of self, you will be locked in a cell. And that's just locked within yourself, you know, locked within your own being without no way to escape. And that's why we have so many people with different mental challenges like anxiety and depression, because you know, all the stuff that we're eating, the environment, the stuff that we're feeding ourselves, whether it be with TV, social media, music is number one. So we have to really start to change the paradigm into what we're feeding ourselves. And it's not just with food, it's with everything around
anything you take in. Because you feed yourself in every way, auditorially, orally, visually, everything. You take everything in, and there's a glut of information daily. How do you disseminate that information of like everything that you're receiving throughout the day? Like your sense of smell is the closest sense tied to memory. So how do you, I guess I want to say, how do you like turn off each thing in order to kind of focus on one particular aspect, or is that even possible?
Well, yes, to focus on one thing at a time.
Right.
Well, see, that comes.
Like say, all right. So for example, I have one good eye, right? So obviously my vision is impaired. I don't see it that way, but that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? So how would somebody like me try and regain some of that visual acuity that I've lost over the years and that I've had without being able to use both of my eyes at one time. You know what I'm saying? And I figured this might be an interesting question for you as an iridologist, because the eyes are your thing.
Yes. Well, we have to go into the root of how the eyesight was impaired to begin with.
I walked around like this all the time. No glasses. Sunlight bothered me. Bright lights bothered me. And
even in the other eye.
Even in the other eye, but I had to keep one eye open. So the left wasn't one.
Was that always the case, or?
Ever since as far back as I can remember, I would walk because I didn't have glasses when I was growing up. And I had the lazy eye, the right one, was always kind of lazy. But bright light, what they would call it now is photosensitive.
Right.
Back, this was the 80s and 90s. We didn't have none of them terms. That didn't exist back then.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I had one eye closed all the time. So that's why both of my eyes don't work at the same time.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? So I've always wondered, is there a way for me to bring that back?
So you're not light sensitive.
Right. Not even just light sensitive, just so I can see out of both eyes. Like somebody asked me once, like, yo, how do you see out of one eye? And I was like, well, how do you see out of both? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I've never been able to see out of both eyes at one time.
What I would say for the light sensitivity, the part of the eye, the cornea, is what's affected. And when that's affected, then it's not able to pass through the lens, which is not able to hit the retina. So what I would say is there's specific herbs to rejuvenate the eyes in all parts of the eyes. There's the Eye Bright, which it actually decreases light sensitivity. It helps with the blood vessels in the eye to increase in vision when it comes to astigmatism.
Right. This is the tea you've created.
Yes. So I have a product called Eagle Eye Blend.
Right.
And it's not it's you can drink it as a tea, but it's mainly for an eye wash. So you use it as eye drops. So you know how when you purchase LASIK eye drops from a store, these are herbal eye drops, okay? And this is what you put in your eyes every single day. There are people who've been taking this for 6 months. They'll say that they take it for 6 months. They have eyeglasses, and when they go to the doctor, the ophthalmologist, they don't have to, refill the eyeglass prescription because their eyesight increased. So it's possible to reverse the eyesight and not having to wear glasses with the use of Eye Bright and changing of the diet. I always say food is the first medicine, and we have to really, grasp that term, because that is what's going to ultimately reverse many different challenges that we don't even know is there. But with iridology, we'll know without a doubt. What's
a good food for the eyes besides, like they say, carrots, but carrots don't occur naturally in nature. Right. So what's a good?
But purple carrots are good. Purple carrots.
I didn't know there were purple carrots. So.
Yes. So that is the. That is the original carrot. Are they not
parsnips? I always thought carrots were like a mixture of parsnips and something else.
No, it is not parsnips. It's actually called purple carrots. See, the darker the food, the more nutritionally rich it is. So that's what you want.
Right, you want melanin in your food. You want melanin.
Right, melanated food, exactly. So purple carrots is good. Bilberries, which I actually have in my online store.
Right, yes you do.
That's really good for the eyes. It's more a food than an herb.
Okay.
That's in the blueberry family. Of course, blueberries are good. all the foods with zinc, lutein, minerals or vitamins and supplements like lutein are really good for the eyes, as well as foods high in vitamin A. So those are the foods that you want to be consuming. Also pomegranates, which are in season right now.
Yes, they
are. So that cleanses the lymphatic system, which ultimately cleanses the eyesight. Okay, because the lymphatic system is highly connected to the eyesight.
All right, hold on. Let's break that down for people, because I remember the lymphatic system marginally from high school. Explain to people what your lymphatic system does.
Sure. Yes. So a lot of us, we call this an immune system. Okay. And really it's quite the opposite. I want the family keep in mind that you're never immune to anything, ever. That throws out the germ theory, that throws out the vaccine theory, that throws out the mask theory. You're never immune to anything. Your body is constantly defending itself, okay? Actually, immune is a legal term.
Right.
It's not even a medical term. It's only used when it comes to lawyers, okay, to gain immunity. If you look it up in the dictionary,
we'll touch back on that. Hold on. We're gonna go back to that one.
We have to really start to pay attention to the words to further confuse us, okay? Going back into the lymphatic system, this is where your white blood cells are stored. This is where your white blood cells are produced. So when this system is clogged, which you have lymph nodes all through your neck, your breast area, under your arms, and your arms, when that area is clogged, it affects the thyroid. It also creates lumps. This is where breast cancer comes from. This is where different tumors on the arms, you have an inconsistency in the arms. And also when a clogged in lymphatic system, it'll stop the pressure, the blood flow to the eyes. Remember, the eyes has many vessels connected to the heart, the lungs, the lymphatic system, the kidneys, the pancreas, all of this. So when the eyes start to, what we say, well, lack of a better term, fail, we have to look at these specific systems, not just the eyes. And I could go on and on about, how doctors focus on one. You have a doctor for every organ. You have an eye specialist, you have an ophthalmologist, you have a cardiologist, you have an endocrinologist. But one thing I can say is that they're just specialists. They're not doctors, because you can have a pain in one area, but they may not know it could be your kidneys and not just your eyes. The ophthalmologist is not skilled in helping you heal your kidneys if it's actually the kidneys and not the eyes. So we have to really and it's insane. You talk to an older person, they go to 10 different doctors.
I remember.
Have one doctor. You understand? So it's insane. It's insane.
So how is it that, I kind of know the answer to this, but how is it that doctors are allowed to practice in this way then? Like, I would think that ideally your doctor would be well versed in every aspect of medicine, but I guess that's being idealistic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no doctor can know everything, right? So how do you find a balance in that? Like, what do you do? Because there is a podiatrist, there is an endocrinologist, there is a gastroenterologist, you know what I'm saying? All these motherfuckers are out of network, by the way. But we have all these people, and not one of them can say, all right, I deal with just your endocrine system. I don't know nothing about your heart. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they'll send you to a cardiologist.
They'll send you to a cardiologist, right? But does that actually help? I wonder. Like, that's my question. Does that actually help? Because if you're an iridologist and you can see what's going on in my eyes, you're not an ophthalmologist, you're not an optometrist, you're an iridologist. So that means you're
you have the ability to diagnose a health issue from the eyes.
Yes.
So that means that you also have to know
The
endocrine
heart,
system,
the
cardiovascular
kidneys.
system.
Yes.
You have to know everything. Okay.
Yes.
So just let it be known that this is the first episode of the Just to Be Frank podcast that has an actual genius on it. So know that shit, because I always tell y'all, man, I don't mind having people on here that's smarter than me. She's definitely smarter than me. Definitely. Leaps and bounds. Leaps and bounds. Jesus. I don't believe in Jesus, I'm calling him. Like, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you okay. So just so we're clear, just so my viewers can understand this.
Mm-hmm.
This young lady is smarter than 10 of you combined. Right? With me included. All right? And I'm already smarter than fucking 5 of you combined. So, damn. Shakirah Moore, ladies and gentlemen. But no, that's amazing to me. Like, because you have an ability that took years to train for, but it's not something, honestly, I've ever heard of. Like, I've never heard of an iridologist before.
Mm.
You're the very first and only one that I know of. And now I guarantee you, the Google's listening to me, so I guarantee you I'm going to get like 80 ads for all of them now. But you're the first one that I've ever known of. You know what I'm saying? Is this just a very specialized field, or are you just exceptionally? This was like, I want to do this because this is the most important thing to me.
Yes. Well, I feel like I know it was my calling. This is something that has been in my family before I was born. My grandmother loved iridology. I believe that, before she transitioned, this is something that she would have wanted. And, I give thanks for, doing this and being here and honoring, what they set down for me. What got me started was, my mother telling me this story that I always tell of the why I got started. And, when she went to an iridologist when I was 2, what happened was she had this excruciating pain in her side, in her, upper stomach area. And she went to the medical doctor and they could not figure out for the life what was wrong. They're like, we ran every test. This was 2 weeks. She was going back and forth. They ran every test, nothing. They gave her some pain medication. Okay. And said, if you come back, then we know, the pain medication didn't work. If you didn't, then hey, that's great. Okay. But it still persisted. So my grandmother said, I told you to go to the iridologist. I told you to go. So with nothing to lose, my mother went, and 2 minutes into sitting in his chair, he told her exactly what was wrong. It was gallstones. And she's like, well, what is that? Right. That nobody really knows what, how the gallbladder works.
Well, this was back,
especially at our age, so
this was years ago before anybody knew anything. Okay.
Right. And so when he told her what foods that causes that, it correlated to her everyday diet. What he told her, what she was feeling, it correlated to everything. So there was other things that he told her that only she would know. Right. So that's what made her a believer. So he gave her a remedy of how to pass the stones. And in 2 days, she was fine. She passed the stones, and he gave her herbal remedy, and that was it. And that story just stuck with me to that point. And now I'm just, I've said I'm going to school for it. I went to school. It was when we was doing a podcast 3 years ago. I was in school.
You know, it's funny. I think about that because I ain't gonna lie. This is kind of the stuff I wanted to ask you on that podcast, but I didn't really get the chance. Like, because I didn't know. You know, I forgot who introduced us. I think it was Keller that introduced us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Uh-oh, I lost you.
Oh, hold on 1 second. I should have put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh, yeah. I recently used Quad Pay to buy a new camera, so yay.
But I gotta put my phone.
So all right, so you knew Ketter first. And, and I tell everybody, look, them episodes of the Black Codes are still up on YouTube. Y'all should go check that out. That was fun.
Yeah, that was dope days.
They were very interesting. I'm still not sure exactly what happened with that, but still not exactly sure how that's. But we, you know, this is Just to Be Frank podcast, so we do what we do. So you were in school then. Have you always been a healthy person, or is this something that you've developed as you got older?
Well, me and my brother, we were raised vegetarian for the most part.
I'm so
sorry. We started eating meat like around 13 or so.
Okay.
Then from there, we just kind of like dived into many other different things like dairy. That's when, you know, the acne started, the weight gaining started, you know, sore throats all the time. So, you know, it was just a whirlwind of things that I went through in my early 20s health-wise. You know, nothing serious, but really severe acne, really severe sore throats all the time. Even though I knew ice cream, if I ate it, I was going to get it. I didn't care, you know? So
do you still eat ice cream now?
Vegan.
Okay.
Plant-based, coconut milk, almond
Is it as good?
It's delicious.
No, it is. I'm
telling you viewers now, anything that you eat now can be transformed into plant-based and tastes amazing.
Now, you know,
like funny? Anything.
I'm not vegan, but I definitely have added some vegan items to my diet. Because I enjoyed them. You know, I tried it out for a little while. I recognized that, damn it, I still want to eat meat. And I was doing good for like a good month, and then somebody had some venison, and I was like, that smells good. And I ate it, and it was great. and so I wonder if like hunting would be I think hunting, like hunting for your own meat, that the spiritual aspect, the physical aspect, like all of it in tune and is good for you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That animal doesn't get to pump the cortisol through its bloodstream to poison the meat and all, you know what I'm saying? Like all like factory farms and all its friends see it and they're like, oh no, I don't want to do that. And you know, we forget the man.
Yeah, because now you gotta wonder where all this anxiety comes from. You know, when you eat meat and the last moments before that animal was killed, you're right, the cortisol gets released into the bloodstream of that animal in high amounts. And the cortisol is what? A hormone for stress.
It's the
fight or flight.
Fear hormone.
You know, it's the fight or flight. It's the adrenals.
Right.
You know,
it's
so
fear.
when that is a release in the bloodstream of the animal right before it's killed, and you're eating that animal. Right. Well, there is no wonder or question where all of this mass depression, mass anxiety, children, with severe mental, it comes to not feeling secure, alienating themselves from friends and family. So we have to really connect diet with mental awareness, health as well, not just physical ailments as far as diabetes and things like that, heart disease, but the mental as well. See, this is the difference between holistic and Western medicine. They separate everything. But you're not a separate person. You're a whole person. Therefore, you should be treated holistically, you know, and if you continue down a path of the medical establishment, you'll never find yourself. You'll be in a circle your entire life.
All right. So, you know Diane and Beth from the Crystal Garden. You're the one that introduced me to them. Yes. All right. So I asked them this very same question, right? Mm-hmm. Since they don't classify themselves as healers, right? Do you think that there should be a good balance between Western medicine and holistic medicine? Like, for example, they're not like you're licensed to diagnose an issue. They are not, right? But they can do things to help the spirit, right? But it would behoove them to still say, hey, go to a doctor and, you know, fix your health. Would you do the same thing? Would you be able to say the same thing? Like, yo, look, you know what? I can't heal this for you, but I can help aid your spirit or guide you along, but you should still use this medicine that they're offering you.
What I would say is that, well, I still have to, all holistic practitioners still have to suggest clients to consult their medical physician before intaking any new herbs or anything. We still have to do that. Okay. That's still, we're not fully protected as medical doctors, just holistic practitioners. Okay. So we still have to do that. I would say if there's something that, you know, that I'm puzzled on, because you got a lot of rare diseases now, like, you know, I always suggest my clients to go to someone higher than me in a holistic world, like my mentors. You know, they've been in the game for 35, 45 years. I've had many mentors that is very skilled at what they do. I'll seek someone specific in that profession. Like if there's something that is out of my reach when it comes to the male organs. I have many male clients and they need help with impotency and things of that. I say, well, listen, I have a great male practitioner to go to. So we pass each other along so that, you know, the person is still being made whole. Now, if you were to get shot, stabbed, car accident, that's
ain't no holistic for that.
That's where the medical establishment comes in. The trauma unit, you know, that's where it comes in. Right. But when it comes to everyday maintenance of you know, cold, flu, ear infections, high blood pressure, that our people
holistic.
Are on these.
Holistic
that
works.
Is where holistic comes in, you know, and it's a shame we're on these medications, you know, for things that, again, can be treated holistically.
Well, I think a large part of that comes from puritanical thinking in that you're a witch if you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's basically it. Like, you're a witch. You know what I'm saying? That's all they're going to see you as. They simplify it in their pea brains as, oh, you're a witch doctor, and that's what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
you know what I mean? And that
we've been conditioned.
Right.
We've been conditioned. See, you have the average mind, the psyche has been destroyed for generations. When it even from the cartoons in the 30s and 40s, when they had Big Mama cooking up people in the pot, that wasn't. See, people, we look at even cartoons like animation. That is not for entertainment. All of it is conditioning. Do you understand? So, you know, through generations, they conditioned all people to look at herbs and even iridology and all of these things as voodoo and witchcraft and, oh my God, that's spooky, so that you will stray away from your original self. Because the more you practice this, the more you're able to you're able to tap into what everybody's saying.
What they don't want you to.
Exactly.
What they don't want you to.
So, of course, they have to create a diversion,
right?
So that you don't,
But I mean, listen. I am definitely, I disagree in some regard to that, because I play video games, I watch TV, I grew up on, I watched a lot of cartoons, I learned a lot of shit from cartoons. You know what I'm saying? But I still also am in touch with the spiritual realm and the metaphysical realm and the holistic realm in the same vein. So is it just a personal choice, or is it something that's innately in me that just draws me to this as much as that? You know what I'm saying? Because I straddle the fence. I'm, you know what I mean? I enjoy all of these things. The stuff you do excites me. The stuff that you know what I mean? Video games and books and TV, that excites me too. You know what I'm saying? So am I wrong for that?
Nobody is wrong, and I want that to be clear. Nobody is wrong. We've all been exposed to this system. We've all we still will have some form of conditioning till this day, unless you up and move to the bushes and to where we not the bushes. I don't like to say that, but
no,
to the
but you're right. You're right.
To where we belong. Where there's no distraction. So you have to remember, you have to think, okay, without this distraction, how more advanced will we be? We see advancement now, like, but we could be more advanced without the outside societal distraction. So it's not if it's a good or bad thing, it's where can we be mentally, physically, and spiritually? Can we be higher without these things? Okay, a lot of people say, well, I like this, I like that. But would you like that if you were ever exposed to it? If you were never exposed to it, you were taught to like this.
Right. That's the chicken and the egg, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So we have to look at it for what it is. Even when it comes to music, people say, well, I like this kind of music. Well, do you? Because this is what we've been taught.
Well, I like all kinds of music. And
right.
But I think, and so what we're finding is, what I think is that a lot of this is subjective. You know what I'm saying? Because it's individualistic. It's individualistic. You know what I'm saying? Because
and I would say it can be very, very debatable and challenging.
Well, I mean, that's something everybody finds different things interesting. That's what makes us interesting. You know what I'm saying? Right. But I understand what you mean. Like, we were conditioned to not like country music or rock music, or, you know what I'm saying? Or, like, I know I certainly was. Like, in my house, Motown and R&B and hip hop. That was it. But I love the Beatles. I love Aerosmith. You know what I'm saying? I love Ozzy Osbourne. You know what I'm saying? I love Avril Lavigne. I'm a fucking Avril Lavigne fan. I don't give a shit. I like Taylor Swift. I don't care. I like good music. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's very simplistic. If it sounds good, I want to listen to it. If it looks interesting, I want to watch it. If it's a fun game, I want to play it. If it's a good book, I want to read it. If it's an interesting conversation, I want to have it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why. I guess everybody's not the same, but it would be a lot easier if they were.
No, like you said, individualistic. But with that topic, that definitely has different angles where it can go. But that's definitely like something to be more in depth and with more people on the panel, so that you have different ideas to bounce off of, when it comes to that. But, just with everything, when it comes, again, holistic is whole, making you whole in your every part of your life, not just your physical health, your spiritual health, your financial health, because a lot of us say health is wealth, but what does that mean? When you are truly healthy, you are able to attract wealth. A lot of our community, they say the number one cause, it says on the CDC, that the number one cause of deaths in the Black community is heart disease, cardiovascular. And then that
Stress.
comes, and what does it come from? Stress. And what does the stress come from? Not ever feeling like you're ever going to get out of your financial situation.
Yep.
Okay, so how do we bridge the gap with our people to come out of a financial situation? We have to first get their mindset on their health. Okay, so that when you are healthy, when you are detoxing, see, that's why I do the detox. We do detoxing to manifest with iridology. Because when you detox your body, you're able to manifest what you really want.
Now,
if you're keeping old energy inside, how can you expect new energy to arrive? I mean,
what if we stop putting so much emphasis on the monetary aspect as it relates to success, right?
Well, no. See, when we don't talk about, I didn't say anything about monetary in success as far as that is.
Well, that's the perception. Money equals success.
Societal perception.
That's the societal perception, but that's what in our community. In our community, that's the perception.
But that's what we see
every
day.
Success.
We have to charge and relearn a different mindset when it comes to success and money. Okay, it does come hand in hand, but it's not flashing cars, it's not flashing jewelry, it's not looking like you have money, but actually having wealth to leave a foundation. So that it comes to, when it comes to health, again, health is wealth. And once you start to really detox, I'm talking about that deep inner detox, you're able to manifest whatever it is that you want, because money is everywhere. Money is abundant, you know, and hell, and you have to know that. You won't know that to clear all that stuff and junk in your mind and your body. You won't be able to grasp what I'm saying until you detox.
Well, what I often tell people is that, and this is a personal thing, but what I tell people is that money is not a motivating factor for me, because it's not. Money does not motivate any decision that I make. It doesn't motivate anything in the way that I move. It doesn't motivate anything that I do. Money is like 10th on the list of things that matter to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about the shiny new shit. I don't care about, those things don't matter to me, right? How do we get everybody to focus on that type of aspect? Because truthfully, I'm not rich, but I definitely feel wealthy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I don't live paycheck to paycheck anymore, not in the same way I used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm comfortable. I'm not, like I said, I'm not rich. I still got to worry about my bills and all that type of shit, but I don't stress those things. Money does not motivate the moves that I make. So how do we get more people to think like that? Whereas like health is the most important thing. You know what I'm saying? Your family, your spirit, your general well-being is more important than any monetary paper bullshit. How do we do that?
Well, that takes a whole reprogramming of the mind, you know, and to really understand that, you know,
can you make a tea for that?
If you're going to be, you know, a person who says, there's a lot of people that I'm after the money, you know, to realize that you shouldn't chase anything, because what we are doing, we're just attracting everything to us. By our aura, by our spirit, by how we live, whether our health is in the right condition, we attract. So the money is there. The money is everywhere. And if you're a person that, again, wants generational wealth, wants to get into certain business ventures when it comes to entrepreneurial and real estate and all of that stuff, to know that it's not about flashing. It's not about what society has shown us. It's about living the way that living in a way where
living within your means.
Well, not just that, but just, yeah, that too. Yeah, living within your means, but just living a lifestyle where it's not, you know, so
excessive,
demanding.
right?
You know, so
right.
How we like I said, we get strayed by pictures and all of these things. So the key first, before we even start to talk about how we can attain financial freedom, is to detox to manifest. That is the key. And that is what we're going to do. That's what we do with iridology. We do that with herbs. We do that with food. Again, food is the first medicine.
Shakirah, I have to ask you, man, how the fuck did you become this amazing person?
I just, a lot of studying. I have to thank my mentors, my spiritual counselor, my mother. My mother is number one. All right. I have to say that. But she is number uno for who I am today. I can't put no one else above my mother. You know, she's nurtured me. She was the first one to invest in me. She still invests in me. Now I invest in her. And, you know, one of my mantras for 2021, I'm already prepared, is that I will retire my mother. And because of everything that she's done for me, and because of everything she is to me. So she's number one.
All right. Now, I'm scared of my mom enough, but I'm going to ask this question. How old are you, Shakirah?
I'm 27.
You're 27 years old. You know, your brain doesn't fully develop till you're 25. So in a matter of 2 years since your brain fully developed, you've become this amazing person. Do you? Yeah. You are. Like, don't be humble. Fuck that. I'm singing your praises. You're one of the most interesting people I've ever met. And then, and I'm gonna pull it up. Yep. You practice ninjutsu. What the fuck? Like, where did that?
Oh man,
where did that come from?
Oh man, what we call it? I don't want to give away too much.
Give me a little. Come on, like I gotta know what makes a beautiful, smart. Okay, no, I guess I just answered my own fucking question. You're beautiful and smart. Ninjutsu, duh. But no, like what makes somebody like you? Because, you know, look, I know you in person. I know you in real life. You're like yay big and like, you know what I'm saying? You're such a sweetheart. So what draws you to an art that's generally about killing motherfuckers? Easily, silently, deadly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, see, that's the thing. I'm very unsuspecting. So you would never know, my sweet little self. But
like, you're fucking beautiful, you're smart, you're deadly. Like that's a combination. Like, if I wasn't scared of you, I'd ask you out. Like, shit. Like,
yeah, you know, it's funny how I was drawn to that. It was like 2 years ago, actually. My grandmaster, he actually asked to teach me. He heard one of my podcasts. I have a podcast that I haven't been giving love to lately. And he heard.
Shout it out. What is it?
Huh?
Shout out your podcast.
Oh, yes. My podcast is called Next Generation Hope. You can find it on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Next Generation Hope. I have a lot of different episodes on there. And one of the episodes that my grandmaster loved was when I did the misconception of the flu shot.
Okay.
And I will make this short because it's pretty long, but my grandmaster, he was damaged by the polio vaccination when he was a child back in the 50s.
Okay.
And it left one arm shorter than the other. Okay. So essentially martial arts saved his life, helped him to walk better and everything. So when he heard that, it was like, you know, he started to understand vaccinations more better, you know, now that, you know, I broke it down. So he asked me, he said, I have a gift. And then I needed to be taught and I needed to be mentored. Yeah. And it was crazy because that year I kept asking if only I had a mentor, because I was so lost that year. Like, you know, I had.
But I met you?
No, the year 2018. It was like I just graduated. You know, I didn't know where to start, you know, and I just kept saying, if only I had a mentor, you know, and, you know, what he said so perfectly. It out. Right, just figuring it out. Right, I would say figuring it out. And one thing he said to me was, you know, sometimes we have gifts, and it's like a child. You know, they open a gift and they don't know how to put it together. It's up to the parents to do that. So that was what he was and still is to me, helping me to put my gifts together. And that's when, you know, he's my holistic teacher as well. But then 2 months in, he's like, you're ready to learn, you know, martial arts. And what we call our system is called the angelic system. Right. We don't really identify ourselves as ninjas because a ninja would never. And if anybody watches Naruto, you know, they say in
I don't, but go ahead.
The episodes that because Naruto's always saying I'm a ninja, but they always say a ninja never identifies himself as a ninja. So we call ourselves angels. Okay. And one thing that about an angel can only be seen when he wants to be seen. Right. We will only be touched when we want to be touched. Right. You'll never see a move done any time. You know, so that's how we practice. How it's very intense. It's more than just self-defense, but it's definitely even going into self-defense, definitely something that we all, you know, need to get into. Yes, indeed. When it comes to defending yourself, knowing different moves. And what I do also with my martial arts and my health, or with my consultations, is people with, you know, arthritis in the fingers. I know different movements to get that moving. So I show them, you know, different. I don't even know that it's a tactic, but it's different movements to get the blood flow in the hands. But they don't know that it's just a quick move, you know, when it comes to an attack. So we do that. We stretch. Where flexibility is the number one thing when it comes to training. Right. So you seen the stretch machine. Yes, man. I got one in my garage. I got one, please. Yes. Yes, I was shocked when you said that. I'm like, wow.
Listen, man, because my brother's he's a black belt. He got his black belt from Tiger Showman's before they switched over to like MMA. So he's been a martial artist for a long time, and he's very devoted to it. And I always tell him, like, that's where he gets his determination, his will, his strength to do things. Yes. Like that. And, you know, I've never been able to take a martial arts class in my life. You know what I'm saying? Just because, you know, when I was growing up, we was poor. We couldn't afford that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I got around the friends I have, they all did. And they were each one teach one. So they were, you know what I'm saying? So I was blessed to be able to learn some techniques and things from them. You know what I'm saying? And then having only the one eye, I had to learn how to adapt a fighting style to my own limitations. Now I have one, but it definitely took a lot of trial and error. There's a lot more grappling than there is striking, obviously. But one thing I'm thankful for is I'm not afraid to take a hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not afraid to take a hit, and I will certainly take the hit in order to give one. You know what I'm saying? And,
right.
you know, but I think what you do is fucking amazing.
Giving thanks.
Oh,
yes.
Man. Like, and I don't mean just that. I mean everything that you do. Like, you are an amazing human being. And I don't think you understand. I don't know if you know how dope you are, but that's why I'm here. So I can sing your praises, because you're somebody that I respect in all facets of everything. Like, your intelligence, your skill and ability as a fighter and a warrior, you know what I'm saying? Your medical expertise, like you are somebody that I trust. I recognize that your energy is somebody that is very important to my life. So I'm glad to have you around. Word up.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
There's two people I want to introduce you to. My friend Tamika Anthony, she is a forensic toxicologist.
Okay.
Okay. And my friend Lori, she is the ultimate manifester. I don't know anybody else who embodies the spirit of manifesting everything the way she does. You know what I'm saying? But these are two young ladies that I couldn't have any more respect for. You know what I'm saying? And I have you in that regard, because I recognize that your abilities, your skill, your spirit is something that's so very powerful and so very, very welcome in this world. That's important to me.
Yes.
Word up.
That I felt every word.
And you're a mom. And you're a mom, so that, you know what I mean, that helps too. How's the baby? She ain't a baby, but that's the baby.
Great. Yeah, she's not a baby no more.
Ain't a baby no more. She always your baby. She always your baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. But is there anything that any last questions?
No, listen, you know what? Honestly, the next time we do this, we got to do this in person. You got to come sit on the couch.
Yes.
But I'm glad to have done this. And I ain't going to lie, this is kind of on a lark, because I needed an episode and I needed somebody to talk to. And so I got you, and I got my boy Doe Boy Sumz. So I got some hip hop shit. I got some smart shit. I'm winning right now.
That's winning. Right.
This is just right. Shout out your podcast again, your social media. Let everybody know where to find you.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. My podcast is Next Generation Hope. Again, you can find that on Anchor and Spotify. I call it Next Generation Hope, Awakening Your Dark Matter Consciousness. All right. So many different episodes on there. On, of course, Iridology. I have a episode on there with my grandmaster. Y'all gonna love it. All right.
Awakening Your Dark Matter.
Awakening Your Dark Matter Consciousness.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
So, also my my handles for social media, Instagram, I'm Wholistic Hope with a W, WHOLISTIC Hope. My Facebook page is Finding Your Beauty. And my website is in my both my Facebook pages, but it's holisticcapalace.com. And as Frank said earlier, I have amazing, all different herbal detoxes for every ailment you can think of. Every ailment you can think of. Yes, whether it's high blood pressure, cholesterol, asthma, eczema, the list goes on.
That respiratory tea runs out fast. I'm telling y'all right now, the elderberry joint she got runs out fast. Get them while you can. You know what I'm saying? Get them while you can.
Yes. Got that sea moss. We got everything. I have everything.
You know what?
So...
I need some more sea moss. I'm glad you said
Okay.
that. I need some more sea moss.
Yes, I got you. Yes.
I need some more sea moss. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? You like I said, man, you're one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life, and I'm thankful to know you. If y'all want to go check out that old episode of Foundation 101 Presents the Black Codes, you can find it on YouTube. I'll put the link in my joint here. Like, yeah, I gotta.
Oh yeah, that. Share that.
Yeah, I gotta share that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still living on that. I'm still living off of that. But my hair's a lot grayer now, though. So it's a little grayer now. It wasn't as gray back then. I got a little older in this, but I'm glad for it, man. If you got a tea that can like get rid of the grays, you like.
I actually do.
You do? Shit. You know what? I'm gonna spend so much money on tea. I might need to pay my rent. But no, Shakirah, bless you. I thank you ever so much for joining me today. This was awesome, man. You're awesome. And I'll put all the links and everything in the description. We'll make sure people know where to find you.
Absolutely.
But again, thank you ever so much. You have a blessed one.
You too. Yes. Have a great night, evening. Thank you for having me and for sharing with your guests, your audience. I appreciate you. And even for knowing you, you have a very electric personalities ever since I've met you. You know, I just remember always laughing being around you 3 years ago and the podcast. So thank you for, your brightness and your inviting spirit. I appreciate you as well.
It's always welcome, man. You know what? And again, next time we do this, we'll do it live and in person. Fuck
That's
COVID.
Right.
We're going to kick COVID's ass because I ain't scared of that shit. But
That's right.
Because I eat right. I exercise, damn it. No, but no, I ain't gonna lie. The reason I want you to talk to Tamika is because she's the only person I know that's been to Usha Village.
Oh wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like she had she was losing vision in her eye. And before Dr. Sebi passed, he was able to help her heal that. So she's the only person I know who's actually been with Dr. Sebi. So I think you would definitely like her. Like she has a great company too, where she has some great products, deodorant, like all natural deodorants and toothpaste and body scrubs and washes and things like that, lotions, like, and phenomenal shit. Like honestly, it right up your alley, all healthy shit and no chemicals, no bullshit. Like she's one of those. She's definitely like on your wave. So I think y'all will be pretty together.
All right. Well, thank you. I'm gonna definitely look forward to that meeting.
Yeah, definitely, man. Listen, Shakirah Moore, ladies and gentlemen, y'all motherfuckers, y'all have a good one, man. Again, thank you, my lady. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Yes, Ashe. Talk to you soon.
Speak to you later.
Peace.
Later. Oh, man. So, that was it, man. This is the Just to Be Frank podcast. Thank you ever so much for joining me, man. That was Shakirah Moore, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a twofer episode. It's dope. I love it, man. Shit, I got 2 interviews in 1 episode. I might separate them and make it 2 episodes. Fuck that. I'll put them both in 1. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have Doe Boy Sumz. I love Shakirah Moore. We're making it happen. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I got, man. You know what I'm saying? I had enough positivity and weird shit for me for the night. So I am Frank Starfire. This has been the Just to Be Frank podcast. Thank you ever so much for joining me as ever. One love. Abracadabra.